4 minutes. Minutes. I'm trying. We got like 1 minute, but I'll warm up the crowd. Hey, everybody, how you doing out there? Yeah. Any couples out there? Yeah. How you like it? How you like it so far? You've been married for 92 years. Wow. That's some dusty sex right there, huh? I'm sorry. Happy time? Happy time's better. I think that's a better way to say it, right? I don't know. Bridget's gonna be like, well, you gotta be happy time like that. And what I say to that is, maybe I should write something again for this dumb song that I made 1,000 years ago. That's what it was. Something. It's something stupid, like a cameo joint from back in the day. Know what I mean, son? You know what I mean? Word up. Know what I mean? Oh, that's the wrong way. Hey, everybody. Oh, shit. Ah. No. Oh, they spilled the coffee. I pulled a Scott Rubin on my. Oh, no. No. Turn on again, monitor. Come on, monitor. I didn't break you. I think I almost spilled it again. I almost broke this phone that's playing the music, though. If the music just suddenly cuts off, then you know that something is amiss. Great. Wow. That wasn't a joke. Look, see the wet stuff? That's coffee juice. Oh man, I spilled it on this one too. That's my good phone. I mean, it's not my good phone. It's my good phone that I don't use no more. You know when you got like extra phones just lying around? Like I'm Marquise Brown up in here. You know what I mean? Like I'm MKHD. You know what I mean? Nah, I'm not though. Y'all don't know who he is. He's a good YouTuber dude, and he's very young, and I'm jealous. Okay, as I clean up, welcome to the R9cast. Uh-oh, see? I told you, broke. Wow, this is pretty, I mean, I didn't get in or break it or nothing. I need another, I guess this shirt will do. Good to have it. Okay, look, I'm gonna drink the rest of this real quick. While we that was good. I can't believe I just spilled my cafe con leche all over my stuff, man. Look, I still got coffee up on this. Okay, hold up. Sorry, it's gonna be a little bit of a. What's going on here? Hold up. Now, what the heck? Okay, why did this? This is okay. I'm having issues, obviously. All right, we need some cleanage. Oh. Don't worry, I had everything under control. You know, I always got my stuff ready. You know what I mean? Spray it. Don't delay it. Sorry, this has to happen during the show. This is the very professional part of the show where we spill coffee and clean it up. That's how you know that. Ooh, look at that. See? You see the color? It's coffee color. But I'm glad my oops, I didn't mean to press that. I kind of like that other song too. Oops. Oh, let's go here. Yeah, we'll go back to you. Go back to the old goody ones. Sorry. Let me clean. I need to clean this. I can't just be like, oh, let me do it and just do a show for 2 hours while coffee's just residuing everywhere. You know what I mean? We got to take care of this right away. Emergency code red, code purple. What code is called coffee spillage on your desk? Of what? How did that happen? Hold up. Go back. No, I wasn't ready to change tracks already. So let's clean this phone. I'm not sure if this phone is gonna survive. Only because well, actually both of these phones don't have a case on them, so we'll see. Hopefully this one survives. I kind of like this phone. Use it for something. All right. It wasn't my main squeeze 'em phone. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't my main baby. Hey, hold on, I know I got some coffee underneath here. Yup, there it is. A little bit of coffee under there. Clean. Know what I mean? And we'll get into the show in about a few seconds. Flip it. Don't script it. I don't know if that meant anything. Anyway. Woo. Oh, my monitor turned off again. Come on. Stay on. Thank you. Oh, man. All right. Everything's still working. Oh, wait. Something's wrong here. What's that? Oh, I messed up here. I gotta fix that. My curtains. There you go. I fixed it. Anyway. Hi. Welcome to the R9cast, everyone. I'm supposed to say this stuff? Welcome to the R9cast, the official Black Digital Concord Crystal Super Dope show for Electron Bandit, Reservoir 9, all games, whatever site you feel like going to today, this week, this year. Doesn't matter, because we are all on one world. Bonds, how you doing? Appreciate you hanging, coming through. Rewatching Transformers Dark Side of the Moon. Which, is that the second one, right? Okay, you know what? Now I gotta look up the freaking discography Transformer movies. Transformer movies. Transformer! Alright, so, it was Revenge of the Fallen. Dark Side of the Moon was the third one. Holy crap, there are 6 Dark Side of... okay, there are 5 Transformer movies, and then there's Bumblebee. I don't count Bumblebee as a quote-unquote Transformer movie, even though it is. And technically, Bumblebee takes place before the first movie? Yeah. It's a prequel. And it's actually better than the rest of them all combined. It's look, that's just my opinion. I'm just saying. We're not going to have a giant debate about the merits of Bumblebee versus the rest of the Transformers movies. But I will say that Bumblebee is good. Not because Haley Steinstein, whatever her name is, Feld is in it. She's good. I like her. I liked her as what's his face from the Spider-Verse movie. She's good. Good voice actress. Good regular actor. I guess the funny thing is that if Michael Bay doesn't direct the Transformers movie, better movie. Because Bumblebee was not directed by Michael Bay. It was directed by the guy who directed the Kubo and the whatever, the animated movie, which was dope too. So, roll out, Michael Bay. Let homeboy do the rest of the Transformers and just pay him. Be a producer. You know what I'm saying? The one that devastated Chicago. The one with the devastation of Chicago. And I'm just here to see the fight of Shockwave versus. You know what? Shockwave, I think, was the most G1 accurate of all of the Transformer. Yeah, he was like, oh, that looks like Shockwave. Yup. It sounded like him too. I don't think that's the actor. I don't think it was the same actor. I think he had passed away at that point. Because that guy was in, I think, the guy who originally voiced Shockwave was the bad guy in Time Bandits, I believe. Let's look it up. Hold up. Let me do this real quick. There you go. All right, so well, actually I guess we can look at the Dark Side of the Moon. We can go to IMDb. Well, they have the actors here, right? Here it is. Sorry, I have a bit of a headache, and tomorrow we're going to get our shots. I'm going to get that super serum, that super soldier serum, son. I'm getting my first dose of the serum. So the okay, wait, I hear myself back. Hold on. Yeah, I think I'm sad. Why do I hear? Anyway, I don't care. Is this the right movie? Okay, Dark Side of the Moon. Sam. Okay, he's in it still. Wow, there's a lot of. Okay. Where are the Transformers? How come I'm like 59 people deep and I don't see no Transformers? Yeah, where the How come the Transformers? Okay, is it because their voices? You know what? I got a problem with this already. Why are the voice actors at the bottom of the list? It should be ordered in it should be in order of important characters. You know what I'm saying? Like if you got in regular movies where there's just regular actors, humans, right? It's all order of importance. If you're really important, like and with or featuring or also in the movie is this guy or something, oh, give me a with, and you get extra money for that because you get a little with at the end. All the credits go, and then it's with me, Mudflower. All right, so Optimus Prime, Peter Cullen, Autobots. Oh, come on, Prime. Wow, that hurt. I was doing that wrong. I don't think Hugo Weaving was a good Megatron. Megatron. I always liked the original Starscream / I think the same dude did Megatron as well, I think. And my favorite Transformer, FYI, Soundwave. From G1, like he would be chilling. He'd be like, Ravage, Rumble, Transfer. What did he say? I don't know. I remember he just pressed the button and then everybody shoot out his chest. Like, damn man, how many tapes you got in there, son? Because I can only put one in the toy. He's like, Ravage, Rumble, Havoc, or no, what's the other one? It was Ravage, Rumble. I don't remember the third one. There's only 3. And then they added some other extra ones. It was like, I don't care about y'all. Y'all ain't the original. Oh yeah, Laserbeak, Ravage, Rumble, and then the other one that was the red one. The blue one was Rumble, and then the red one was, I don't know, the same but different color. Good luck looking up the voice actor. Paramount needs to clean up that. Yeah, they do. All right, so we're looking for Shockwave. Here he is. Frank Welker is the voice of freaking is Starscream. So wait, so how? What? Okay, hold up, because he was also, I believe, he was also Skeletor. Okay, so Frank Welker, who is the original voice of Starscream, is not the voice of Starscream. Oh no, wait, am I wrong? Charlie Adler is the real voice of Starscream. See, I'm confused now. Hold up. So Frank, okay, you know what? Let's look it up so that we're not stupid. I mean, I'm not stupid. We. That's not how I go. Okay, so no, that's not the same guy that I thought. Did he do the original filmography? Let's go down. Let's go down the rabbit hole. Let's go way down the rabbit hole. Way down to Jesus. All right. So, it was 1980. I want to see if he did the original freaking. It was 80. DuckTales. Okay, it's jumping up and down. Oh, Little Mermaid. He was Max. Okay, uncredited. Wow. 80. When was the Transformers? 80. It was after Pound Puppies and all that. There it is. So I knew. Okay, so he's Megatron. All right, so that's where. All right, so he did Megatron, Soundwave, Skywarp. Who the hell is Skywarp? Anyway, so I do remember Megatron. All right, so that was Frank. That's Frank Welker. That's where we're at, right? So Frank Welker did Megatron, Soundwave, and Skywarp, and more. I guess I don't know. Can you give me more? Can this be bigger? Whatever. I could have swore he did Starscream too, but I think that's the other guy. So Frank Welker, right? All right. So let's go back. So Frank Welker is Megatron. So here's my problem already. Frank Welker does the original Megatron, right? Which was good. Why is Hugo Weaving doing Megatron, right? Now, me as a person who has watched a lot of Hugo Weaving movies, I can tell his voice, right? In the Transformers movie, you can't tell his voice because they have so many effects on it. It doesn't matter who does the voice. So why not have the original dude do the voice and then add a little, I mean, because in the cartoon, they added a little, chorus, a little something, you know what I mean? Put a phaser or something on it. They messed up with that. They just wanted a big name, and they couldn't replace Peter Cullen because his voice is so distinct. There's no other voice that is like Peter Cullen, unless you're doing a Peter Cullen Optimus Prime impression. You know what I'm saying? So, Starscream. Charlie Adler. Okay, so I think he is the same. I believe that he is the same actor as he was back in the day. Let's check this one as well. So wait, actor? Do they have voice actor? I gotta go through this whole thing again. All right, so let's go all the way down to 80. What would we say? 84 to 80 something. Wait, is he? I know he's there because his voice is familiar. His voice is familiar. He was in G.I. Joe. G.I. Joe Transformers Faces of Dark. Okay, that can't be. Wait, the 86, that was after the show. Okay, so he wasn't in, huh? So where do I know him from? Okay, my brain is not working right. Huh. I could have swore he was in. I guess not. Five Faces of Darkness. Silverbolt Guardian Prime. And what was he in G.I. Joe? G.I. Joe, Lowlight, whatever. Okay. Gem, truly outrageous, contagious. Gem is my name and no one else did the same. Gem is my name. Sorry. Gem had a good theme song, I ain't gonna lie. But, yeah, no. Alright, so, so who is the original voice of Starscream? Original voice of Starscream. Christopher Collins? Oh, I guess, yeah, that is him. Christopher Collins. Which is, I guess that's him. Did he pass away or something? Yeah, he did pass away. No, he didn't pass away. How? Sorry. Let's look at the Wikipedia real quick, and then we'll get bounce. He's still alive, right? Oh, he died in 94. Wait, okay, so hold up. That's why they didn't use them. Bonds of the Sky Rumble and Astral Train. You forgot whom those two is. Astral Train. I think that was the same. That was the same as what's his name, right? Yeah. Sorry for bringing it up. I did caution you about the. I don't care. I like rabbit holes. They're fun. They're fun and twisty. So Christopher Collins. Don't worry, we got time to talk about stuff. Christopher Collins. So he did Cobra Commander, which was crazy. Wait, so and he passed away in '94, so he actually had. So I guess they had other people kind of fill in after that fact. After he had passed away. That sucks. Doug Parker was his successor. Sparkplug Wiki is the name of. Hold up. Spike. Okay, it was Spike, and then Daniel. Hold up. I'm forgetting the wiki lineage now. Daniel is the grandson of Sparkplug. So Sparkplug's the dad, Spike is the son, and Daniel is Spike's son, Sparkplug's. I think that's how that goes. So my thing is, okay, so they got two different people to go Starscream and Cobra Commander. Okay, I'm done. Sorry. Oh man, that was a little bit of a rabbit hole, but that was good. Kaiju says the Misfits had better songs. Jem sang too many slow loves. That's true. I'm just talking about the actual, just the beginning theme song. Jem, truly outrageous, contagious, contagious. Jem is my name and no one. And the animation was pretty dope in the beginning. Like I was like, yo, that's kind of that's not bad. Even though this is a cartoon for girls. It's like straight up. Let's just make it. This is make it about girls and hair and colors, and they fighting about being the best punk rock. Whatever. And then they had the super people. They tried to make the live action Gem, and I was like, man, y'all messed it up so bad. Y'all could have made the dopest, funniest Gem and the Holograms movie. But y'all went and tried to, I don't know what they did. I didn't even watch it. I saw like a little bit, like, they showed the trailers or preview. I was like, yeah, nah, nope. It could have been so good. Bond says, again, you see my reasoning for there needs to be cleaned up because, yeah, IMDb for the voice actors of the 80s, 90s. Yeah, I agree. Is there any other kind of resource or guide or collection of data for like like voice actors, like voice actor DB or something? Voice actor VADB? Somebody make VADB just voice actors. Meaning it's just the voice actor, whatever, if it's a real actor or not, a real actor, I'm sorry. Live action actor, doesn't matter. But if an actor did voice for whatever, they're on this list, and that's all they show is the voice acting stuff, not, the live action stuff. That'd be dope. Does that exist? Let's look for it. How about that? Let's look for it. So it would be VODB. Does that mean anything? No. Let me see if there's a voice acting data base. There it is. Wow, somebody looked it up. Behind the voiceactors.com, images, sound. I guess there is one, huh? BTVA is a visual and audible literature. Okay, let's just go there. Voice chasers. So they do have. Okay, I knew it. Excuse me. Kajudo says, I know what you're saying. That intro song is dope. I wasn't debating that. Just reminiscing on the show. Yeah, I'm gonna be real. I don't remember, and I agree with you. I don't remember any Gem songs. I was like, oh boy, it's a Gem song, and it's gonna be. You're right, love song and the blah blah. Then the Misfits is like, they rocking out because with the Misfits. Kajudo says Gem movie. To my surprise, wasn't bad. They even had synergy in it. I was shocked the trailer was misleading. That's the thing, like. I know they had the synergy and I don't know, was her dad the computer? So it's something crazy, right? How that the premise of the cartoon is like, okay, that's kind of cool, right? And they could have they should have went all in, just made it ridiculous, less serious, just mad funny, put mad jokes in it. Cause come on, son, it ain't that serious. We talking about girl bands and I don't know, they're like international spies. I don't really care. All right. So, yeah, okay. I guess this is a place we can behind the voice actors. There was another one that they had showed, but this is a good little thing. We can go. So if we're looking for, I totally forgot their names, but it doesn't matter, does it? Nah, we're done. We're done with this. I think this is a little tangent, but at least I know that there's a resource. There's more than one, obviously, but. Like for like a lot, I'm looking at all this list of movies. I'm like, okay, Asterix. Do I remember watching that? Is that a show? What is that? Asterix and I guess it's a movie, right? It's more than one movie. Bridget made me watch a dumb movie called Latte and the Magic Waterstone or something. It's on Netflix. It's like a Canadian made animated CG movie, and I was like, sometimes you get surprised by a movie like not Kubo, whatever that movie, and the two sticks or whatever it's called. I was like, okay, that's pretty dope. This movie was like, oh boy, I can't. We got like halfway through it. I was like, I can't. This is the worst movie I've ever seen. This is so bad. And the funny thing is, like, I would be 1,000,000,000% proud of myself if I would create anything close to that like type of quality and animation, but it just wasn't there. I was like, I'm good. Bonds. No, besides fan-made Wikipedia sites. Oh, okay, my GF is a fan of Dinobot after I explained how they are their own clique. Oh, that's true. Optimus disrespected Grimlock for riding back, hand-smacking him. Oh, he did smack him, didn't he? Yeah, Grimlock was like, he didn't talk good. Grimlock didn't talk well, but he was like, yeah, he's the leader, yo. He's a hero and he was smart, but he just couldn't articulate it. I'm gonna make fun, Bridget. You be quiet. Bond says MG is a huge fan of Gem, Sailor Moon. My GF is a bigger fan of Gem. I think I've seen maybe one episode of Sailor Moon in passing. And I'm like, okay. It's one of those, those serialized anime shows, and it's like, it's nothing wrong with it, but when I was a kid, Gem was the thing, and I would watch it because it was like, okay, it's Gem, and then it was, what the hell else came on? It was the other show that was for boys. It was the boy show and then Gem. I think that was the order. It was way early in the morning. It wasn't Robotech. Robotech was at 6:30, I think. Because I was always watching Robotech in the morning. I was like, Robotech! Like, Robotech! And then I actually caught, this is way later, I caught one of the movies where the Zentradi were there. I was like, Zentradi? Like, what's this? It was like, so now I know the word Zentradi. Don't ask me anything else. I just know the word Zentradi and the females. That's all I know. Because she says, I hate Grimlock. The Dinobots brought the show down. Way too much focus on trying to make them lovable. He was Barney before there was a Barney. Bond says, want another rabbit hole to dive into? Look into Jim Henson's creations. Maybe another day. That is a rabbit hole. That's a giant rabbit hole. Okay, he says Robotech was dope. It was the first cartoon I saw in person. A person die in a cartoon. What was the first? I'm trying to think. What was the first person I saw die in a cartoon? I don't remember. I didn't remember anybody dying in Robotech. Because they kind of all bled into each other. I don't even know the story. I was like, oh, and they get into the robots and they shoot, fly, shoot, transform, shoot, fly. Yeah. So I was like, only thing I remember, not even it's just like you got G.I. Joe, Transformers. That was the afternoon, right? So in the morning it was Robotech and a Gem, or I can't, for some reason I can't remember. There was another cartoon that same animation company made that was kind of like a, I mean, that was Hasbro, right? I think it was Hasbro. So was it? No, it wasn't G.I. Joe, because G.I. Joe Transformers came on in the afternoon when I got home from school. It was like my mom's was sleeping because she had the night shift. My dad was at work, so I was like, psh, book bag was like fling. I was like, click, turn the TV on, bloop, blop. For an hour watching Transformer G.I. Joe. And maybe I'll do some homework, maybe. I didn't do too much homework when I was a kid. As you can tell. I went to college for 2 semesters. I was like, I don't like this right here. I'm out. Peace out. I'm glad I didn't waste money in college. For what? I'm not going to be a doctor or a lawyer. So, save my parents some money. Well, I mean, I would have to pay it back. Student loans and all that stuff, you know. So I'm like, So that's one good thing. I didn't have any student loans. Kedra says, remember that guy was in the battle. He came to the black woman's house after the fight. She got coffee and he dropped dead in her house. It was good. Oh, I don't remember that. Bond says, I paid my way through college. See? That's what I'm saying. You know, some people have to. Some people have to, like, work, you know, do it both at the same time. Some people get the loans, pay it back afterwards. That's what my brother did. He went to school for a long time. I was like, and it wasn't even for, like, oh, he's going to be a doctor or something. It just took him a long time to get through. First, you know, he was, like, switching schools and all that stuff. And that's another thing. It's like, it's a giant racket. But anyway, we're not getting into the college, you know, because that's boring. We want to talk about cartoons. Video games. We're going to talk about video. I mean, these movies and stuff. Space Jam, the new Space Jam. I'm looking at that commercial. I'm like, you know what? Space Jam 2 looks alright. I ain't gonna lie. Space Jam looks okay. Oh, see, they even got the video games on there. So yeah, you right though, Bonds. As far as there being an actual voicechasers.com. How about this one? Oh, return after these. What the hell is this? Oh, I guess they're building this. After these messages, we'll be right back. I remember that. Voice over internet data. This is kind of void, huh? Voice over internet. That's a better name than what I said, right? VDBDBD. What? Huh? Okay, yeah. See? Yeah, get out of here. Get out of here. Crappy ass. It's a good ass name, and they screwed it up with, I don't know what the hell that thing was. Anyway, so Behind the Voice looks like the one to go to right now if you want to look something up. I mean, like you say, it might be a fan site, but it looked pretty good. It looked pretty well put together. Mel Blanc, he was good. I was watching. I put on for Bridget the Uncle Pecos because you know I'm addicted to what the so good. And then I found out that the guy who did the song, I totally forgot he's in a group, right? And there's a video of the group. I guess they were on some radio show or something, and that's the song he was singing. And so he did it again on that. Well, he probably did it there first, and they saw him and they put it in the cartoon. But I think he stutters for real, but he accentuates it obviously. But it's pretty funny. I was like, okay, yeah, and they're sitting there, and it's like a comedy joke show. I mean, it's a comedy act thing. You know. I got financial aid grant, and the rest came out of my pocket. I owe no one a dime for my college costs. Cool. Yeah, you got grant and say, yeah, that's pretty dope. Get them grants and get them aids, yo. Well, financial. I mean, grants are always better because it's free. Well, it's, you know what I'm saying. Anyway, let's get to what we need to get to, which is this. There's been a lot of, I mean, I don't even want to call it like turmoil or anything like that, because that's a little hyperbolic. There's been some, if you look at what Microsoft has been doing for, let's just say 10 years, right? 10 years, 2011. I mean, we could even say from, 7, 8 years from the beginning of last gen, 2013, right? So going into the last gen, then crossing into this gen. Microsoft is, they tripped right out the gate in 2013, fell ass first into a bear trap. Snap! They were done. It's like, yeah, we had to put a Band-Aid on that one. You're going to be out for the season, my friend. And Microsoft was out for the season. While they were out, they were reading. They were reading books. They were reading more books. They were reading thicker books than the first books they were reading. They were watching some tape, like, of old CESs and E3s. Like, yo, how did they? Oh, you see what they did right there? They were doing their research and homework. And then when they got a little better, all their physical wounds had healed, they started training. Hoya. Like that. That's how they train in video games, right? There was a little bit of organization, if you will, in the upper leadership roles. Let's say that, right? Right after E3, the boot machine was like kicked. It was like, let's crank that back. You got the spring. Okay, click. Don, you want to come over? Let me just stand right there. You could bend. Could you bend over just a little bit forward? I mean, you could brace yourself with your knees. I mean, you don't want to fall over. Just bend up. Kadoosh. Thank you, guitar. I appreciate the sound effect. And they kicked his ass out. They kicked him out so fast. That it was like kabloosh. Yep, here we go. Watch from 24. 24 seconds. Oh, no sound though. Sorry, because I've never done the audio right to actually hear the sound from the stuff, which is good because then I don't have to worry about copyright strikes. Oh, look at that tight afro though. Even in the 70s, yo. Look at that. Yo, let me tell you something right now. You can say what you want to say about anime and the Japanese, but that's a tight afro right there. Oh, he did. Damn, she's just like, oh, he dead? Why is she sweating so much? Like, damn. I guess they can't show the sweat on the lady, the flesher ladies, because it doesn't show up too much. So I guess it just shows up more because it's the darker complexion of the color of the character. Aw, she's crying. Was that her lover? Big brother? Oh, maybe it's a big brother. I'll see. I don't know who to. Okay, thank you. Thank you for the distraction, but we need to get back because, like I was saying, the kick your ass out. His name was Roy. Come on, man. Roy Fokker, really? Roy Fokker? That's Fokker. I'm sorry, I said Fokker. Wait, Booker, Fokker, Joker, Fokker is Fokker. Sorry, I had to find it. Fokker, Roy Fokker. Okay, I'm gonna say it's Fokker. Anyway, Bridget says Uncle Pecos hysterical, even more funny when you sing it. I need to learn I need to learn it for real, and maybe I'll do a actual YouTube video, because I see a lot of people out there. They do the they'll do it, but they'll just have the audio playing from the video, right, of the original show, and then they'll just like pantomime it and lip sync it. I'm like, that's whack as hell. You gotta do a cover of Uncle Pecos. That's what I'm. That's the. I just gotta study, get all the jibber jabbers in there. Come on, man. I might just do that, and then put some trap in it. Boom, 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 boom. Tony, right. Crumbling. Know what I'm saying? What? I'm gonna do that. because I just to pay respects to Uncle Pecos, and the fact that cartoon, we're gonna get back to Sony. That cartoon had a profound effect on my brain. In whatever way you think it is, bad, good, doesn't matter. The fact that I remember that, I'm gonna be the old dimensionized person, don't know what colors are anymore. I can still see, but I'm like, I forgot. What's that color called again? Just like that. I'm probably gonna forget how to talk. But I'll be like, ha, he, ha. And the nurse, but that's all he does. He's like, ha, he. What is that? I don't know. Oh, that's Uncle Pecos. That's gonna be the last thing in my brain. That's gonna be it. Uncle Pecos. Maybe Bridget. I mean, you know. I guess I gotta say that, right? Anyway, it's getting hot. It's getting hot in here. Don Matrick was released into the wild to go to Zynga, whatever. Who cares where he went? And Phil Spencer came in and said, I guess I'll do it. I don't know. I have some ideas. And then Satya, and then Balmer left. And then Satya came in and said, I will make this the best company ever. Sorry, if that's a little racist. He is Indian, so what are you going to do? That wasn't too Indian. It was a little. He has an accent. Come on, son. And then Phil was like, dang, how do I do this? How do I keep Xbox as a company? Because they about to get rid of us, yo. And he's like, talk to, yo, Hakeem, yo, you got some ideas? Like, I think we could do backwards compatibility. I mean, we could do it. Yeah, I mean, tell you what, Phil, you give us a year, and then we get back to you. We'll let you know if we can actually do it, because we don't know. We need like some time to figure it out. And Phil's like, go. Hakeem's like, peace out, homie. Year later, he comes back. We got it. Phil's like, what? You did it? I was like, yeah, man. Come on, son. You give Hakeem a year. You know I'm gonna come through. Phil, you my boy, Phil. Phil. Xbox ain't going nowhere, Phil. I like how you talking, Hakeem. I like it. All right, so this is how it works. Bleep, bloop, bloop. Put it in, works. That's it. That's all it goes, right? That's all. Okay. What? Hold up. My monitor just freaking out here. The current input timing is not supported by the monitor display. Please change your input timing to it's a 1080p monitor. Oh, I guess my monitor's dying. Wow. Okay. Let's fix this real quick. My monitor's like, we're just gonna not work right now. Oh, great. Now the thing popped on the other. Okay, let me just turn this off. Turn it back on again, because stupid monitors. Ha he ho. There you go. And now I lost my. Where is Facebook? There it is. Boop. Okay, I'm back. All right. So, Phil and Hakeem got together. Hakeem, forgot his last name, is the guy who was in charge of leading the backwards compatible blah, blah, blah at Xbox in 2014, I think they started, or something like that. And he did it. He basically did it. And so, he's still there. He's still at Xbox doing his duck dizzle. And so that was like the first step. Second step was Phil, yo, let's make better machines, because Xbox One VCR edition is hot garbage. We need better, okay? Yeah, okay. So, I'm sure maybe it was in the plans, maybe not. Maybe Phil said, yeah, we need to do that, because 2014 to 2017 is when the X and the S released, the Xbox One S and One S. So 3 years is about enough time to refigure it, based on old hardware architecture and blah, blah, blah. So, I don't think a lot of people don't like Phil for some reason, whatever. Well, they don't like Xbox in general, but they don't like Phil, whatever, because, I mean, if you listen to some of these fools, like, oh, he lied, and it's like, okay, yeah, so he said some stuff, and it didn't come to fruition, but he didn't straight up lie to your faces like your boy Jim Ryan. So, anyway, the point is, Xbox was in trouble. they stepped back. They said, all right, we need to fix some stuff in certain order. We need to fix backward. We're going to add the backwards compatibility because our vision is we're going to make Xbox like Xbox Eternal from the jump to the stump. You know what I'm saying? From the beginning to the beginning. And so, yeah, that's what happened, right? So at first they say, okay, backwards compatibility. We get all them. Yeah, that's good. Yep. Game Pass. Look at Netflix. We need to do that. Okay, sure. You know, it takes time to do these things. You know, you got to build it up, make it up. They did the cloud thing, which kind of ties all the stuff in together. So it seems like Xbox has been making moves under Phil's guidership, under his leadership, but making moves to have all these things that they've been kind of moving toward. Cloud, backwards compatibility, Game Pass, all to meet up in the middle. Sync, to form a Voltron of video games. And just form blazing sword, right? And the PlayStation, Sony's the road beast, like dun 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 dun. Where is it? You know what I'm saying? Right now, Sony's looking spooky as hell. Sony, look, I have this up here because first of all, Jason, your boy JS, he's popping off all the latest news and stories. There's so many videos out there about this story, and I've heard a lot of them. But the last one I saw, which was the most kind of telling, and it kind of put this whole situation about the story in a different perspective for me. It was from Matty. I forgot his last name. He's on the Colin Moriarty's what's it called? Last Stand Media's X-Cast, whatever it's called. He's on that show, which I enjoy because they get into it and they curse a lot, so it's good. But he did a separate episode from that show on his own channel, and he was talking about. I can go into. I mean, we'll read through this, but he was kind of. It was. I'm trying to remember exactly what it was. It was the part where. It was. Man, I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was pertaining to. I'm getting it. It was pertaining to the studio that is basically responsible for making all of Sony's bangers. It's a support studio that was basically the polishers, right? They come in, not the fixers, but like, okay, our game is almost ready. We need to, tighten it up, tighten up the graphics on level 3. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. And they touched every one of those bangers. God of War, Last of Us, blah blah blah, all the way down the line. Horizon Zero, touched them all as far as graphics, animation, all those things. That's what they did. That was their speciality. Their speciality was make it look good, yo. And they did. They know what they were doing, right? They were an unnamed team. Well, first of all, it was a visual arts service group, right? So that's what the original group was called. It wasn't necessarily a studio, but it was just that group of. I mean, technically it was a studio, but it wasn't. It was a group of people who worked as support, like I said, to polish these games, to push them out. The problem is that Sony has been mismatched. Okay, we haven't been keen to all these facts. Jason Schreier puts it all out there, but that's why Sony's quiet all the time, I guess, because they're like, oh shoot, our boy Mike just left and took a whole bunch of people with him. The guy who was in charge of visual arts services group, he left because Sony was pulling some bullshit. That's why he was like, nah. It's like, yo, we want to make this. They're like, no, you're not gonna make that. We're Sony. We're gonna make this. Like, but we don't want to do that. And so he bounced. With. Anyway, let's read into this. So Sony's obsession with blockbusters is stirring unrest within PlayStation Empire. A small team had big ambitions for The Last of Us remake, but Sony handed the work to Star Studio Naughty Dog. The thing about that is, this small team also worked on The Last of Us 2. They, like I said, they were the polishers. So it's kind of messed up, right? Let's continue. This is by Jason Schreier. Sony Corpse Visual Arts Service Group has long been the unsung hero of many hit PlayStation video games. The San Diego-based operations help finish off games designed at other Sony-owned studios with animation, art, and other content and development. But about 3 years ago, a handful of influential figures within the Visual Arts Service Group decided they wanted to have more creative control and lead game direction rather than being supporting actors in popular titles such as Spider-Man and Uncharted. I didn't even mention Spider-Man. And that's the thing, right? Let's stop right there real quick. That's the thing. We're saying, oh man, Insomniac is so good, or oh man, Naughty Dog is so good. Meanwhile, you got this ghost group over here, this ghost studio, polishing up all the turds. Not really, but you know what I'm saying? It's like, wait, all right, so who's really making these games great? Where is the greatness really? Is it these people who just like left? Or, because, yeah, that's not a good look. If, Anyway, Michael Mumbauer, who took over direction of the Visual Arts Service Group in 2007, when, recruited a group of about 30 developers internally from neighboring game studios to form a new development unit within Sony. The idea was to expand upon some of the company's most successful franchises, and the team began working on a remake of 2013 hit of the 2013 hit The Last of Us for PlayStation 5. I think my monitor's dying because it keeps flashing, but whatever. But Sony never fully acknowledged the team's existence or gave them the funding and support needed to succeed in the highly competitive video game market, according to people involved. The studio never got its own name. Instead, Sony moved ownership of The Last of Us remake to its original creator, Naughty Dog, and Sony-owned studio behind the best-selling games of an HBO series, blah, blah, blah. So, that's messed up. Like, one of your most important, I would say, or arguably one of your most important pieces of puzzle, workers, 30 people. It's not a big studio, right? And Sony's just like, nah, B. It's like, yo, that's like having one of your star players on the bench after they just won the Super Bowl championship or whatever, It's that, okay, we're 2 paragraphs in and it already sound kind of messed up, don't it? It's like, yo, that's kind of, Sony kind of just did them dirty, right? Is that what happened? I mean, yeah, okay. Moving on. Deflated. The small group's leadership had largely disbanded, according to interviews with 8 people familiar with the operation. Many, including Mumbauer, had left the company entirely. Mumbauer declined to comment, and others asked not to be named discussing private information. A representative from Sony declined to comment or provide interviews. I had a thought, and my thought was that Xbox would hire Mumbauer and his group, his motley crew, to do what they wanted to do. Basically, form a group, make whatever they want to make. Because here's the thing, and here's the difference. We'll get back to this in a second. Here's the difference about where you look at these two companies, which way Microsoft's going this way, Sony's going this way, right? Which is good because you want variety. You want them trying to do the same thing. Because then it's like, okay, they did this one better. There's competition in that. But when you're doing 2 separate things, then you get 2 separate outputs and 2 separate outcomes. And neither one is like correct, if that's the way to say it. But they're just 2 different approaches. And it's interesting to see where each of the companies land. If Microsoft hires Mumbauer and his people, The thing that he wanted to do at Sony, and Sony refused. They said, nope, we need to make money. We need to put the safe bets out there. This is what's happening at Sony right now. They don't have a Game Pass. They don't have an environment where a person like Mumbauer and his team can get the budget and do whatever creative thing they want to do. They don't have that at Sony. They don't want to fund projects like that at Sony because they just want to make those bangers. And they're putting everybody that they have on those bangers, and they don't have as many studios as Microsoft has now. So they can't afford to not just put everything into those bangers. Now, I'm not saying they're doing something wrong. I'm saying they're working with what they got. And what they got is, I don't know what, 10 studios, 13 studios maybe. And they're putting all their little bread, chips, and basket, putting all their eggs into the bangers, into one basket, those bangers. And some of them will be bangers. Let's be real, right? Not 100% of them? No. Especially with this dude left. He was like the banger polisher. He's like, yo, this is the banger. But watch what I do. I buff the hell out. Look how shiny that banger is now. Here you go. You're welcome. Who's next? So it's like, wow. I mean, I understand. And this is like the leadership of Jim Ryan. Jim Ryan's like, yo, we need to make that money, bloke. So this is what we're gonna do. And inherently, there's nothing wrong with that strategy. Making bangers. Duh. That's like, yes, that's what we want. Thank you. But cutting everything else off. Sony used to be the studio. Last gen was the studio where people would say, oh, they're so open to creativity and they let all these different ideas come out. They let them grow and organically grow. Or original ideas and old creativity. And nope. Not no more. Guess what Insomniac's making until they all are dead or retire? Spider-Man. You don't believe me? I will guarantee, unless they hire a whole bunch of more people and make another studio to make something else, Insomniac, a part of Insomniac will be making Spider-Man until they either are gone or they lose the license. And that's another thing. Tangent. The whole MLB thing. I know we talked about this last week. The whole MLB thing, right? MLB was like, yo, we need to make more money. Sony, make it for Xbox. But we don't. We make it for everybody, or you're not getting no more. You don't get no more. You want to still make the? I mean, you want the license? Then shut the hell up. Later. That was the conversation. And Sony was like, okay, that's I guess we gotta make an Xbox. I guess. How do I tell my team that they're gonna make an Xbox? That's what happened. All Microsoft has to do. You ready? Depending on what the contract is between Sony and Marvel, all Microsoft has to do is literally go to Marvel and say, hey, see what happened with MLB? You know, that used to be exclusive, and then they put it on Game Pass, and boom, it blew up. Everybody's playing that. Everybody's playing it. Don't you want Spider-Man is old. It's not making any new money, so how about you? Boop, boop, boop. Here's some money. I mean, Marvel doesn't need money, right? But it's like, I mean, for as far as investment, the money person's like, yeah, that would be all right if we got extra money. I mean, what's the work? Hey, look, we can handle any additional, or we'll figure it out. It's not a big deal, but here's nah. And Marvel's like, okay, well, we'll talk to them. Then Marvel goes to Sony. He's like, hey, Sony, what's up? And Sony's like, what's up? Marvel's like, yeah, we're gonna have to, Spider-Man, Spider-Man. It's like, yeah, we do the movies. No, not the movies. That's the game. Oh, the game. You talking about the game? What's going on? Well, you see, my boss told me to tell you that, we're gonna make that on Xbox. We're gonna make that. Wait, did you talk to MLB? Is that what? No, we didn't. No, we didn't talk to MLB. We didn't say nothing. No. Okay, we'll make it for Xbox too. Okay, thank you. Look. The door has been opened. Spider-Man is not a Sony property. Spider-Man, the video game, is not a Sony property. It's not, like I said, depending on that original agreement that they signed with Marvel, who knows what it is. I'm pretty sure they didn't sign a dumbass agreement like they did back in the day for how they did the movie rights. So I will say that it is highly possible that a game like Spider-Man could one day be on Xbox or future versions of Spider-Man. Like they say, okay, like Marvel could go to Sony and say, yeah, either it's on Xbox or, we're going to give it to, they'll give it to Square Enix or something, and then Square Enix can make the next one or whatever, something like that. Or Insomniac goes solo, they break away from Sony, and then they can make Insomniac can make the deal with Marvel and put it on everything. There's different ways that this can happen. But with the MLB, I mean, people are acting like, oh, this is an anomaly, this is not gonna happen. But if you look at it, Spider-Man is the other thing that could happen because Sony doesn't own the IP. That's the main thing. Sony doesn't own the IP. Yes, they published it on PlayStation, but Marvel could be like, yo, I mean, we can make a publishing arm because we're freaking Marvel, hello. And they can publish it on Xbox, or Xbox can publish it on Xbox, or, I don't know, 505 Games or whoever else can publish it. Doesn't matter. Publish, that's all like logistical whatever. That stuff is really about the IP holder and what they want. And if they want their game to be on everything like that, then they could do that. And they can say Sony, like when I would say the contract allows it, say if Sony needs to renew or something, Marvel could go up to them and like, yo, if you want to renew, this is what you got to do. And then Sony could be like, okay, or I guess we're not making Spider-Man no more. Psh, that's how that works. So, and MLB is a perfect example. MLB is going to be so big this year because so many more people are going to play it that all these other third-party companies who are doing like exclusive deals with not Xbox but Sony actually this is a one-sided type of thing. So just the third party doing exclusives for PlayStation, that's what it is, because anybody who's doing a third party exclusive for Microsoft, or it's not even that anymore. I mean, they're doing some of that stuff, but it's about Game Pass day and date, right? So and they want the engagement right off the bat, right off the jump. You don't want to have like, oh, we gotta make sure that more people are playing this game, or blah blah, gets a good first impression. Game Pass like guarantees a certain number of, oh, I'll try it, and if it's good, I'll keep playing it, and that's a good thing. That's like free demos. When they had the demo system, like on Xbox 360, every game was a demo. Mad people played the demos. But this is what Game Pass turned into, basically. It's like all demos, except it's the full game. So it's like, oh, I could play it, and then, oh, the game's over. Oh, that was dope. Next, Anyway, back to this story. That was a nice little tangent. The team's failure highlights the complex hierarchy of video game development in particular, Sony's conservative approach to making games for the PlayStation 5. The Japanese conglomerate owns about a dozen studios across the world as part of its PlayStation Studios label, but in recent years it has prioritized games made by its most successful developers. Studios such as Santa Monica, California-based Naughty Dog, and Amsterdam-based Guerrilla Games, I didn't know they were in Amsterdam, spend tens of millions of dollars to make games with the expectation that the investments will pay off exponentially. And they usually do. Hits including 2018's God of War, 2020's Last of Us Part 2 are exclusive to PlayStation consoles, helping Sony sell some 114 million of the PlayStation 4. Rival Microsoft has taken the opposite approach, relying on a wide array of studios to feed its Netflix-like subscription service, Xbox Game Pass, which allows users to pay a monthly fee for unlimited access to a variety of games. The funny part is that PS Now still exists, and Jay is just acting like it don't. I mean, a lot of people are, because it's just like, it's no comparison. If you wanna look at like, oh man, who's winning the console games, not games as a service, but subscription service wars, Game Pass won. It's not that they're not winning, they won. They handily beat PS Now. So Sony's trying to do whatever. Anyway, Sony's focus on exclusive blockbusters has come at the expense of niche teams and studios within the PlayStation organization, leading to high turnover and less choice for players. This is everything I'm reading doesn't sound good. It's like I'm just trying to read it correctly, verbiage wise. I'm not trying to emphasize. I'm just trying to read the words, and it don't sound good so far. Last week, Sony reorganized a development office in Japan, resulting in mass departures of people who worked on less well-known but acclaimed games such as Gravity Rush and Everybody's Golf. The company has informed developers that it no longer wants to produce smaller games that are only successful in Japan, Bloomberg has reported. They are literally turning their back on Japan. Sony is. And it's right in front of our faces. This is happening like in real time, right in front of our faces. They're closing down Japan studio. People are walking away. The Mumbauer, he bounced. It's like it's like a house of cards that's falling apart. The dominoes are hit. It's like the title of the show is the Sony Empire Crumbling, and I'm like, I mean, I know that's hyperbolic, but it kind of feels that way a little bit, right? Without the actual results or outcome of an actual empire crumbling, because that's, they're still gonna have the bangers coming out, but that's it. My question is that enough? Especially when your competitor is gonna have bangers too. Let's not fake the funk. There's gonna be some bangers on Xbox. Whether it's up to the quality of the PlayStation bangers, I mean, come on, that's subjective. But I think that the amount of studios that Xbox has now is crazy, and the amount of like I said it before, Ninja Theory's demo, that Project Mara, that I thought was that was just like, oh, that's somebody in an apartment with a camera, and that's not real game. That was real gameplay, and it fooled everybody because nobody said nothing about it. Nobody said nothing about that Project Mara footage when they showed like the computer screen, and then at the end they showed her face, and there was like a little zombie version of her or something like that, and it was like in the dark. But all the other footage it's in the hallway, and there's the stairs and going up the stairs. That was all in game. Nobody said nothing until, nobody's still saying nothing about it. I saw the behind the scenes, and they were saying, oh, this is how we're doing the level of detail. And I was like, wait. I was like, hold up. That was gameplay? And it was like, yeah, well, it's based off of a real location. There's a real apartment. And they did photogrammetry and all kinds of other stuff to make it look like super dope fly. And I was like, oh boy, we're in for a treat. Ninja Theory is not playing. It's like, what? There was like 13 of them that made the first Hellblade. So now I think they have like 30 people now. And I'm like, they are killing it without even... Look, Xbox right now is killing it without even having any bangers. Week after week, they smacking Sony like smack. Sony, what's it? Smack. Oh, MLB, thank you, we'll take that. They're like smacking them all across the ring, making Sony look like foolish, bad. And it's not even about games at this point. Once the bangers start falling out, like, oops, there's another banger. Oops, we have so many bangers to keep for the oops. Then Sony's like, here's a banger. I'm telling you right now, Sony's bangers better be bang-tastic, because if there's anything wrong with them games, then the crumbling has begun. You know what I'm saying? This is the problem with the approach that Sony's taking. Is that they put all their eggs in one basket, and the success of Sony and PlayStation is riding on the success of these games. And if these games aren't anything but God of War spectacular, then it's kind of a wrap. And there's going to be hardcore ponies out there be like, oh, look out, right? But no, because it's not just about that, because that's one piece of the puzzle. You need all the other pieces. They got nothing. They're closing down everything. They're shutting down everything. And I'm like, so they're actually making it easier for Game Pass to succeed, because you look at the PlayStation like, oh, it's just about the AAA bangers. However many they're going to have, it's a handful. I mean, if you want to be like, if they have 12 studios and every one of those 12 studios is going to make a banger, which is not the case, but let's say 6 out of 12 make bangers and the other 6 are like trying, but not quite. Let's just kind of play the odds a little bit. You got 6 bangers. And how long is this generation going to be? I'll say 8 years. 1 a year if you're lucky. Probably not, because they got to space them out based on when they started making them. That's not enough. 1 banger a year is not enough. Nope. You need more, and that's what Xbox is doing. They're giving you more. Plus, the third-party stuff that they're doing as far as the deals with like MLB and Outriders. Come on, son. If this continues, third-party, day and date on Game Pass versus PlayStation, you got to pay $70. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. And the ponies can argue, oh, y'all just want to rent the game. It doesn't matter what you say, what you're trying to paint this whole scenario as. I got Game Pass. I'm going to play the game. That's it. I'm part of the Game Pass club. They just throwing games at me. I guess I'm going to play that. You just throw it at me. Just give me. I don't have to go out and like, oh, let me see. Do I have the money? I could buy them if I want. Want to support a little bit more. Want to keep it forever. Something like that. Whatever that means anymore. Let's keep it moving. This fixation on teams that churned out hits is creating unrest across Sony's portfolio of game studios. Oregon-based Sony Bend, best known for 2019 open-world action game Days Gone, tried unsuccessfully to pitch a sequel that year, according to people familiar with the proposal. Although the first game had been profitable, its development had been lengthy and critical reception was mixed. So a Days Gone 2 wasn't seen as a viable option. Once again, this does not sound good for PlayStation fans. Not even talking about like, oh, Sony's whatever. I'm talking about as far as like optics, as far as like PlayStation fans looking at this and saying, yo, what the hell's going on over there at Sony? Some fans are like, yo, we don't need to make a Game Pass competitor. We're just gonna do what we're gonna do. And that's fine. That's like the Nintendo approach, right? I guess they're trying to follow the Nintendo playbook. But the problem with that is that the Nintendo playbook is tied very closely to the hardware that they produce. And the Switch is a portable console. And that's why Nintendo is super successful right now. It's because it's a portable console. And so you get one for yourself, you get one for your kids. You go into separate rooms and play all your games. You know what I'm saying? PlayStation 5 is a giant monster of a thing, not portable in any sense of the word. It's the biggest console. That was the first slap against Japan's cheek. It's like, yeah, we don't like Japan that much. Look how big our console is. Slap. I'm like, wait, Sony is a Japanese studio. So why are they? And then whatever, doesn't matter. Let's keep going. Instead, one team at the studio was assigned to help Naughty Dog with a multiplayer game, while a second group was assigned to work on a new Uncharted game with supervision from Naughty Dog. Some staff, including top leads, were unhappy with this arrangement and left. And this is Ben. This is not even the other. This isn't Mum Boss's, Mumbauer's stuff. This is Ben. This is different. This is two separate entities within Sony that they're literally destroying, making people leave. Ben's developers feared they might be absorbed into Naughty Dog, and the studio's leadership asked to be taken off the Uncharted project. They got their wish, and the studio's leadership asked to be taken off the Uncharted project. They got their wish last month, and now working on a new game of their own that will be part of a brand new franchise. So, I think what happened was the whole Mumbauer thing happened, right? And all of them left, and it was like, oh, that's messed up. And then Jim Ryan saw that was happening with Bend as well. They didn't want to make a Days Gone 2. And Ben was like, yeah, we don't want to be part of Naughty Dog. And we don't want to make Uncharted nothing. We don't want to do that. Or we going to leave. And Jim was like, damn, can't have them leave too. We're losing too many people. So he's like, okay. What if we give you $2 and an Etch-a-Sketch, and you can make your own game? Whatever. But I'm just saying, Ben was in a very nice position to negotiate them being their own studio. Well, them staying their own studio and making a new franchise, because of the fact that Mumbauer's team broke up and left. Even then, they still left. Like, some of Ben's top people left. So it's not like Ben is there. No, it's the remnants of Ben after all that, them trying to make the Uncharted stuff. I was like, wow, this is. I feel like this is the makings of like a super drama video game, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, oh man, the drama between. No, man, we want to make Uncharted. Listen, you work for me. You're going to have to make whatever I say. I'm out of here, man. You can go take your J, you can take your I, and I am leaving. That was bad, I'm sorry. Anyway, emphasizing big hits can also be counterproductive, because sometimes games that start small can turn into massive successes. In 2020, Sony didn't put much market muscle behind the quirky video game creation system's Dreams by the PlayStation-owned Media Molecule in the UK. As a result, PlayStation may have missed out on its own version of Roblox, a similar video game tool. Parent company Roblox Corp went public earlier this year and is now valued at $45 billion. Isn't that how much Sony's were close to, right? Ouch. That's one thing I never understood, is that Dreams could have been a PC, PlayStation environment. They should have definitely released it on PC to give the PC player and treat it as a development engine, but just super easy. I think it would have taken off, but Sony's got that hard-headed approach about, exclusives on PlayStation and make people buy PlayStations. It's like, yeah, it's not about that no more, son. Dude, even Volvo's making a subscription service for their cars. Come on, how you gonna? That's just like leasing the car. But I'm just like, what? So wait, I don't even know how it works, but I'd be like, yo, you pay some certain amount a month, which is like a lease, until you break your contract, until you say I want to out of this, but you get a car. I'm like, yeah, I mean, it's a lease, but it's forever until you cancel. And I guess they upgrade you ever so often if you want to upgrade, wherever. It's like a phone thing. Like, it's 2 years and you want to upgrade? There you go, for free. You get you the new phone, keep paying the same. Or maybe it's a little bit more, maybe it's a little less, who knows? Sounds like a plan. Let's go. But Sony's like, nah, we're trying to sell units. We're trying to sell hardware, B. I'm like, they're playing the old game. It's 2021, baby. And they still in 1992. Okay, 1997, 95. When they come out? Set 4, 5, whatever. I feel like I'm witnessing, I don't want to say the downfall because that's too premature. But if Sony stays on this path for the rest of this generation, they will not win this generation. It's going to be close. I think they're going to be in second, third place. They're going to be behind Xbox. Let's just say that. I mean, if you want to just based on the number of people playing your console, they're going to be behind Xbox because many of the games that people will be playing will be on Game Pass. I think that's Microsoft's plan, and it's just more economical, and the only reason to play on PlayStation 5 is the exclusives. There's no other incentive that's like, oh, it's better here on PlayStation than it is on Xbox, because the power narrative isn't there anymore. You know, they're struggling to keep the power narrative there, but they're doing tricks and stuff. They can't even run Crysis at 60 frames. I put up a thing on Twitter. They're at 20 frames. There's a point in that video where it dips to 20 frames on the PlayStation 5. I'm like, what the hell? And then I forget which one it was, John or the other Alex. He said, one of them said, yeah, it must be a CPU bottleneck or something, because it's not a GPU, but it must be CPU. I was like, uh-oh. Uh-oh. And they were like, oh, maybe they didn't optimize it on the place, the game, you know, they didn't optimize the game right or whatever. I'm like, oh, that's not, I mean, the Xbox version, it ran higher, it looked better, but I think overall the PlayStation ran more higher or something like that. I can't remember, but the point is that what they're doing on the PlayStation 5, and I'm waiting for the day for people to realize this, or for outlets to actually say it, is that they're running everything. When it comes to Xbox versus PlayStation, they're running every game at a lower resolution, native resolution, and as far as resolution scaling, the highest point, it's lower than the Xbox version. Now, if Xbox said, all right, we run it the same, they run it the same as PlayStation, it would always destroy it. It would always beat it, saying that. But Xbox always has a higher ceiling for the resolution scaling, so it takes more power to do that. And that's why the kind of performance mode stuff is kind of lacking, because they're pushing higher resolution on their stuff. Bond says, remember when Crysis was the PC killer? Yeah, I know. That's the funny thing about when Digital Foundry did this thing. They're like, oh, Crysis is running on the next-gen consoles, next-gen patch. And I was like, oh, that's cute. And they're struggling. So it's still kind of killing it in a way. But anyway, let us continue with this. For their first solo project, Mumbauer and his crew wanted to pitch something that would be well received by their bosses at Sony. Recognizing the risks and expense involved with developing a new game from scratch, they decided to focus on remaking older games for the new PlayStation 5. Remakes are considered a safe bet since it's cheaper to update and polish an old game than it is to start from scratch, and they can be sold both to nostalgic fans and curious new ones. The team originally planned on remaking the first Uncharted game, released by Naughty Dog in 2007. That idea quickly fizzled because it would be expensive and require too much added design work. Instead, the team settled on remaking Naughty Dog's 2013 melancholic zombie hit The Last of Us. The reason why they're making The Last of Us is because the show's coming out next year. It's coming out soon. Is it HBO? I don't remember where it's actually falling, but that's why they're doing The Last of Us, to be synergetic with the show that's coming out. So that makes sense. But yeah, aloha, legend. Hope everything's good with you and yours. We talk about the crazy Sony stuff with the studios and all that stuff. Continuing, at the time, Naughty Dog was in the thick development. Was in the thick of development on the sequel, The Last of Us Part 2, which would introduce higher fidelity graphics and new gameplay features. If Mumbauer's crew remade the first game to have a similar look and feel, the two games could be packaged together for the PlayStation 5. In theory, this would be a less expensive proposition than remaking Uncharted, since The Last of Us was more modern and wouldn't require too many gameplay overhauls. Then, once Mumbauer's group had established itself, it could go on and to remake the first Uncharted game and other titles down the road. HBO. Thank you. Yeah, I don't know why. Anyway. But pivoting from doing finishing work for other games to making your own is difficult, since original development teams are competing against hundreds of other teams from all over the world with varying levels of experiences and successes, said Dave Lang, founder of Iron Galaxy Studios, which has served as support team and a development studio. Quote, the people funding the work are often risk averse, and if they have to pick between a team that's done it before and someone trying to do it on their own for the first time, I can see why some people pick the prior developer over the latter, he said. Unquote. Excuse me. That's just what Sony did. Mumbauer's project, codenamed T1X, was approved on a probationary basis, but Sony kept the team's existence a secret and refused to give them a budget to hire more people, leading many to wonder if the company was really committed to letting the team build a new studio. Still, the small team kept working, and by the spring of 2019, they had completed a section of the game designed to show how the rest would look and feel. Wow. I wish that little demo would come out. I like to see like little stuff like that, behind the scenes stuff. At the time, Sony was going through a management shuffle, and the new boss wasn't impressed. Herman Holtz, the former head of Guerrilla Games, was named head of PlayStation Worldwide Studios in November 2019. He thought the remake project was too expensive, according to people familiar with the matter, and asked why the planned budget for T1X was so much higher than remakes Sony had made in the past. The reason was that this one was on a brand new graphical engine for the PlayStation 5. Mumbauer needed to hire more people to help rework the graphics on new technology, as well as redesign gameplay mechanics. Holtz wasn't convinced, the people said. Wow. So it's not even just Jim Ryan. It's Herman Holtz, too. Herman Holtz was like, nah, B. Just make it for the PlayStation 4 and just upscale it. Wow. This is the stuff that's happening over at PlayStation. I'm like, yo, y'all okay? You okay? Y'all okay? Just when it hoped to enter production on the remake of The Last of Us, Mumbauer's team got called in to help with another big game fell behind. What? When another big game fell behind, excuse me. Release The Last of Us Part 2 had been pushed from 2020 to 2019, and Naughty Dog needed the Visual Arts Service Group to polish it off. That's one thing I want to know. If, like, what did the game look like before VASG touched it? Most of Mumbauer's team, along with some of the 200 or so other staff at the Visual Arts Service Group, was assigned to support Naughty Dog, slowing down progress on its own game. Wow. It's like they were purposefully kind of screwing them over, man. That sucks. Ugh. Then the roles got reversed. Sony sent word that after the completion of The Last of Us Part 2, some people from Naughty Dog would help out with T1X. Mumbauer's team saw this as the short-lived autonomy being stripped. Let me read that again. Mumbauer's team saw this as their short-lived autonomy being stripped. Dozens of Naughty Dog staff were joining the project, and some had actually worked on the original Last of Us, giving them more weight in discussions about T1X's direction. The game was moved under Naughty Dog's budget, which Sony gave more leeway than the Visual Arts Service Group. Soon, it was apparent that Naughty Dog was in charge, and the dynamics returned to what they had been for the last decade and a half. The Visual Arts Support Group aiding another team of developers rather than leading. I'm not trying to be hyperbolic and, like I said, read it in a way that is, I'm reading the words and it sounds bad. To Sony, the move made sense. Naughty Dog is one of the key studios, quote, one of the key studios, unquote, for Sony's ability to sell PlayStations, said Bloomberg's intelligence, quote, Sony's competitive advantage has always been exclusive content over Microsoft and more new games as well as remakes of classic titles from such a storied team can help sustain demand for PS5, end quote. That's true, but that was before when Sony had more studios than Xbox. So now Xbox has twice as many studios as Sony. I don't think that's going to be the same. I don't think that's the reality anymore, you know. And it's just wait, but it's just a matter of time before the games are done and ready to come out on Xbox, and then you'll see that snap Fable, which is going to be I guess it's a spiritual successor and a remake or a reimagining or something. I can't remember how they phrased it, but that's just and Perfect Dark. So there's two games that are being reimagined in a way that God of War was, which is good. That's why I don't want a remake. I want a reimagining, make it a new game with the old property. Let's go. And that's what they did with God of War. I said God of War is a sequel plus, so if they do the same thing, do kind of a sequel like all the other events kind of happened, let's not ignore the stuff, the history and the legacy of these games and the stories, but let's bring it to today, today's graphics, today's mechanics, and that's the way to go as far as these old properties. And that's what they're doing with Fable, and that's what they're doing with Perfect Dark. So that's the move. And so right now, I think Xbox has more of those. Well, those two that I had mentioned. What does Sony have? Ratchet and Clank? I guess that's the closest one. Because God of War is, I guess you could count God of War Ragnarok. I guess you could count that one. So, I don't know. I think I'm a little more interested in the Xbox's, their reimagining games that are coming up. But those who had wanted independence were disappointed. By the end of 2020, most of the T1X team's top staff had left, including Mumbauer and the games director David Hall. Today, the T1X project remains in development at Naughty Dog with assistance from Sony's Visual Arts Support Group. The future of the remainder of Mumbauer's team, which has come to be jokingly referred to as Naughty Dog South, remains unclear. And that's the end of the story. Updates on the details on Ben's studio project in 7th paragraph. A previous version of the story corrected Mumbauer's role in the 2nd paragraph. So the 7th paragraph. So let's go back real quick. Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Instead, the studio. Ben's developers fear. Okay. All right. So that's the story. That's the gist. Well, the gist. I've read the whole thing. That's the story of what's going on, according to Jason Schreier, which he's pretty reliable. Whatever. However you may think about him, he doesn't put out BS stories. And let's assume all of this is true. How do you, as a Sony fan, how does it make you feel that all this craziness is happening inside the studio? It's like it's like work environment. It's like, yo, what are you doing, Sony? Like, if I work for Sony and all this stuff is going on, I'm like, really? Can we just kind of, can we all leave? Hey guys, let's leave and let's go over and work on a Game Pass game or something, because it would be better, right? What do you guys want to do? Sony is not the same. Sony is not the same as it was during the going into the PlayStation 4 era. And the funny thing is, Shuhei Yoshida is in charge of indies right now. They're not even talking to him. I don't know what Shuhei is doing right now, but he's like twiddling his thumbs. It's like, they ain't giving me no money. They don't care about the little games. So they literally, this article is like saying, yo, we just want to make the bangers. Meanwhile, Shuhei Yoshida, who has been at Sony, I mean, Jim Ryan's been there for a long time too, so let's not get it twisted. But Shuhei's been like the heart and soul of. I saw that comment. I saw that comment, Legend. I just didn't read it. He said that. What was it? Fable was trash, and the other one was trash too. Perfect Dark. Perfect Dark is pretty much trash. Especially Zero was trash. Fable, I think Fable 2 is the best one. I never played 3, but I heard it was like, but, and this is something that a lot of Sony fans say. Now I don't just throw around pony, because I only use that specifically when people being ponies. But Sony fans say this, and it is true. They have confidence in certain studios because of their track record. Certain studios at Sony make good games, period, right? Playground Games is one of those studios. Only difference is they don't work for Sony, they work for Xbox. Playground Games has never made a bad game. Period. All their games have been bangers. Even their first, the first Forza Horizon, which was their first game at Xbox. I don't know what they made before that. I have to look into it. But as far as Xbox, what they've been making at Xbox, the first game, I was like, yeah, it's pretty good. I wish it did this and that. Next game, it did all the things I wished. I was like, what? Okay, hold up. I wasn't expecting this game to be like way better than the first one, even though the first one was good. I know I said this before, but Playground Games have been consistently killing it, putting out bangers, right? Ninja Theory is the same way, except their first game was kind of goofy. It was like a little kid's game, Ninja B, I forgot what it was called. And that was an Xbox game. But past that, all bangers. All bangers. And they're only getting better. That's the thing. It's like you look at the studios, right, that are making bangers, and you look at them, and you look at the next game, and you look at the next game, and they're all getting better. Naughty Dog's the same way. They were making Jak and Daxter. Were they making Jak and Daxter? Yeah, they were making Jak and Daxter. Then they jumped over to Uncharted. Uncharted was like, eh. Then the second one was like, oh. Then the third one was like, oh, better. Fourth one was like, good still. As far as like technically speaking. Story is a whole other thing we can talk about. And then Last of Us and always getting better. What does Playground Games make? They make the Forza Horizon series, and now they're making the new Fable. And the funny thing is, like, you're like, oh, it's a racing game, blah, 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 right? It's like, okay, yeah, I can see that, but their games, like, it's an open world game. Like, imagine for a second that, just let's say Forza Horizon 4 or 3, whichever one. One's in Australia, one's in Europe. Imagine that map size being an open world and you're walking around. Because you're in the car, you're going 100 and some miles an hour, you're flying through the environment, right? But if you're on a horse, you're not going that fast. That's a giant map. So first, they're already open world experts, let's just say. In a way, all their games have been open world, right? So they already have that. Then, graphically speaking, bangers. Right, and this is a racing game, and I'm looking at like when it's just like doing like the loading screen and it's going through and it's like a little cottage on a lake and some leaves. And I'm like, yo, that looks. Why does this look so? This is a racing game. Why does this look so good? This is a racing game. So I'm like, hold up, they making a racing game, right? They make Forza Horizon 4, 3, 2, and it look beautiful. Chef kiss, I'm like. Imagine if they actually make like a RPG where you actually walking in the woods with. I'm like, it's gonna be bananas, man. I'm like, yo, I have all of the confidence in their ability to make a banger because they haven't not made a banger. They put freaking the whatchamacallit, the the Hot Wheels stuff in it. I'm like, Hot Wheels, really? And then I played it. I was like, oh, okay, it's pretty good. I didn't think that Hot Wheels and Forza would be anything that I would care about, because I don't care about Hot Wheels per se. I mean, I played with them when I was a kid. I didn't have all those crazy tracks with the launchers and stuff, but I was like, skirt. But I played it on Forza. I was like, yo, why is it? Okay, this has no right to be this good. These guys got something. Something is with these guys. They making something. Legend says, nope. Oh, before that, he says, not much of a history of bangers to me. Nope. Throw up emoji. That's good. But once again, Forza Horizon's one of my favorite games because I like racing games. But like I said, taking the racing game out of it, you have to look at the quality of everything about the game. I would say the only problem with those games is that the loading is it's a lot of loading, but it's an open world game. And also I'm on the old school, I'm on the last gen console, so the loading is always longer on those. So once I get the next gen, I can see what the loading is on those games, and then I can kind of extrapolate that towards a Fable or something like that, if it is open world, which, well, I will assume that Fable by Playground Games will be open world in a way. I think it's gonna be like an open world with certain kind of like, oh, here's a cave, then that's gonna be like a linear type of thing, because it's a cave, but still part of the open world, you know, like a dungeon in the open world, or, you know, something like that. So we'll see. The problem is Forza is nobody buys them. I mean, you can, yeah, sure, you can say that, but it's still one of the best racing games. Even though, you know, Gran Turismo has a longer legacy. I think Sony is confused in a way, in more ways than one. But as far as racing games go, Gran Turismo is a simulator, right? Gran Turismo is what Forza Motorsport is. They're both trying to be a certain game. Simulator, that's all you do. That's what you do. Forza Horizon is an open world arcadey race game with a little bit of customization, with the same backbone of the Forza Motorsport series, but just a little bit more casual, easy, fun. It's fun. It's more fun than Motorsport. I'm gonna say that right now. And Sony hasn't gotten there. I think they're actually making a Gran Turismo that is that. I believe so. I think I heard something about that they were making an offshoot, not Sport, because I thought Sport was gonna be that, but Sport's not even that. Sport's just like a diet Gran Turismo. It's just like a Gran Turismo without a number. That's what Sport is. And it takes them so long to make out. When did Gran Turismo come out? Oops, I didn't want to do that. I didn't need that one. And where is this? No, this. Oop. I don't know why that happens. Let's see. People don't play racing games anymore. I mean, they're playing whatchamacallit, online shooters and Fortnite and all that stuff. That is true, but there's always going to be a place for racing games, I think. You know? But I agree that they're not as popular as they used to be, but there's still a place for it. So, and I think the way that Microsoft is kind of leveraging their like Turn 10 plus Playground, and how Playground is doing Forza Horizon plus they're going into, you know, Fable. I think it's smart because it's taking the knowledge that they've gained from whether it's Turn 10, you know, Turn 10 that goes into the Horizon series, Forza Horizon, and then they take that experience that they the open world stuff that they've created, and they're taking that and they're moving that into Fable. So it's not like they're wasting money. Oh, nobody's going, but they're actually using that knowledge and experience that they've gained from making those games and applying them to something new and something that people will buy. Mad people are going to buy that new. Mad people will buy Fable. As much as you don't like it or whatever, a lot of people are going to buy that game. It's going to be ridiculous. All right, so what was my question? It was Gran Turismo? I don't remember what I was looking up. Gran Turismo. Oh, when was the last Gran Turismo? Gran Turismo Sport release date 2017. 4 years later. Oh, but Gran Turismo got delayed till 2022, so it's gonna be 5 years since Gran Turismo. Any Gran Turismo. 5 years. Okay, I'm hot. 5 years. And dropping stuff. You missed it. You missed it earlier, Legend. I spilled my coffee on my phones and it was crazy. Is this thing still working? It still works. It's a little sticky, but it still works. Good. Legend says people don't play racing games anymore. Nobody's going to buy Fable. It's on Game Pass. I mean, what's the difference? And that's the thing. I saw a lot of, I would say ponies would say something like that. I'm not calling you a pony, but a lot of people who are, I guess, anti-Game Pass would say it's not going to sell any units. And the thing is, you have to remember, for all the games that they don't sell on Game Pass, you look at, okay, how many games would the average Xbox gamer buy per year? 3 to 4, maybe, being generous. Me, I was at most 3, 2 at least, right? I would be, there's 2. Once again, they didn't have a lot of bangers coming out, so I didn't have a huge choice of games to buy as far as that. I'm not a COD player, Madden and all that stuff. I was really only about Xbox exclusives, so I was like, So I wasn't buying a lot anyway because they weren't putting them out, right? So, but now that they're going to have a lot more games, you have more of options to buy, right? So that's another thing that's going to change, obviously. But cash is the difference. If you're only buying 2 to 3 games a year, you're barely a gamer. I don't know if that's true because some people just buy FIFA, just buy COD, just buy Madden. That's it. That's that box. The PlayStation is a Madden box. The Xbox is a COD box. Some people don't like that. You can't call them barely a gamer. They just play one game all the time. And there's a lot of people out there who will just play one game. A lot of kids. I mean, if they're not playing Minecraft or Roblox, they're playing Fortnite. That's 3 games. Are they going to play all 3? They probably just move on to the next one, right? Many people are playing Fortnite. Now, a lot of people are playing Outriders. How long will that last? Until, well, on the PlayStation side, Ratchet and Clank will come out in June, right? I think June 11th. And then you can play that for however long that campaign is. I'm not too sure how long those games are, but, let's say it's 15 to 20 hours. Then you're going to go back to Outriders or Destiny. Some people play Destiny a lot, so. I mean, that used to be something true, but these games that just live past an initial release, that aren't story-driven games where you can't finish it, you keep playing it forever and ever, that changed. So you could just play one game forever. Mad people were playing World of Warcraft, paying $15 a month for one game. That's all they played. Blizzard made so much money off of that game. That's one of the reasons I think that that Game Pass exists. They looked at Blizzard. Everybody was looking at Blizzard. They were trying to emulate that, right? And I was like, and Xbox is looking like, wow, they're making a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? How can we do that? All these, when something is popping off and making a lot of money, every company that's close to that type of product is looking at it. It's competition. It's like, yo, what are they doing over there? What's going on? Can we buy that or do that ourselves and make the money too? That's what all these companies are doing. So Sony should be doing that, but based off the leadership, Jim Ryan, Sherman Holtz, I think that's his name. They're doubling down on what worked last gen, and that is a strategy. But I think it's a little short-sighted in that it leaves them little options. If it doesn't work, there is no backup plan. There is no, we're going to, we have this instead, or our portfolio is so diverse that we don't have to only rely on our bangers, because if a banger doesn't bang, then they're losing money. If a banger is like, yo, we put in $200 million in this game, it's a banger, son. And then it flops. What else they got? What else is there on the PlayStation side? Like, yo, okay, don't worry about that. Here's some free games on PlayStation Plus. I guess that's what to distract them. Like, hey, don't look over there. Destruction All-Stars came out. Was supposed to be $70. They said, nah, son. I think it's 20. It was free, and then it was free on PlayStation Plus, and I think next month they're gonna put it in the store. That's as far as financial outlooks. Like, yeah, we're gonna make this much money off of PlayStation All Stars. We're gonna have to revise that because we're not charging $70 anymore, and we're putting it in PlayStation Plus for 2 months for free. So we're not gonna make the same amount of money we said we were gonna make. Sorry, everybody. That's not good. That's really not good. So it's like, blah blah. Those people you're talking about aren't gamers. Whoa. Then what are they? Because if you're playing a game, because you could be hardcore into one game. That's how, I mean, depends on what your definition of gamer is. Like, do you have to have a certain amount of different games you play per month or something? Is there a quota of different games? Legend says, you're the one always talking about subscription money. What's up with the subscription money? The subscription, sure. Subscription money. The thing about Game Pass, I don't know how they do it on Sony's side, PS Now, PS Plus, but I would say, those people are casual. I think there's a spectrum of people who play one game versus casuals. So we can get into that, but let me talk about subscription real quick. Subscription people, the subscription money versus unit per sale or whatever. It's just a different way of getting. So if you think about the number of, let's just say 20 million, keep the math simple, 20 million Game Pass subs by now, or by the end of the year, it's probably going to be more, but let's just say 20 million for math, right? Versus however many people buy a game at $70. Now, however many people buy a game at $70 is not a number you can say. You can't predict the number. You can try, but you can't say this is going to be the number, how many going to be sell. You can't do that. 20 million people paying $15 a month. That's reality. That's what you're getting. So you have a number already. You say, what is that? Times 15 times 20 million is, what is that? 660 million? Is that right? 600 million. Wow. Math ain't working right now. I think it's 60. No, it's not 60. It's 600. 600. I think it's 600. Let's just double check. So what did I say? 20 times 15 is 300. I'm an idiot. Don't worry about me. 300 million a month. Just for subs. Right? So $300 million. How much does it cost to make, a banger, AAA banger, whatever? You got 12 months in a year, right? Let's do that math real quick. 300 times 12. I'm bad at math. 36. So it's $3,600,000 a year only on sub. We're not even talking about. We're not talking about the purchases, the extra, DLC stuff that doesn't come with the sub. Bond says beer. Oh, sorry. Bond says Outriders is FM Bulletstorm before it gets home. It's true. Why there is Eve even a debate about sales projections per quarter and monthly revenue. Be right back for 5 minutes. All right. Legend says, but Xbox gives away Game Pass subs for $1. Sony doesn't do that. What percentage of subs out there were $1? So your number is broken. No, the problem with that, I'm explaining why that's not correct. Now Sony is doing the $1 for the first month or whatever for PS Plus or no PS Now. The whole sub thing is it's not. You don't get Game Pass for $1. That's not how that works. What it is you pay $1 and you transfer your gold into Game Pass. That's what it was. And so there is basically like a money exchange. You do save, like for the person who has 2 years of gold, which is what my situation was. You transfer the 2 years of gold, which is $120 at the time. You transfer that $120 plus the $1 into Game Pass. So you don't have gold anymore, but you have Game Pass. It was Game Pass Ultimate. So instead of paying $15 a month, I paid like $5 because it was gold. It was gold money at the time. So that's where that whole $1 thing is not true. That's just like that's a little distraction. That's not what it is. So it's just the transfer over from gold to Game Pass. That's what that was. Is. I think they still have that going on. You're not talking about PS Now. No one talks about PS Now. I thought that was PS Now, that $1 deal on PlayStation. I think it was. I don't think it was PlayStation Plus. I don't remember. Honestly, it doesn't matter. I mean, it's better if it is PS Now because PS Now is more expensive than PS Plus. So either way, it still breaks numbers. Not necessarily. I mean, it's less than $15 a month or $10 a month, but it's still not $1. That's the whole point. Like what Sony's doing now, that promotion for $1 a month for the first month, that's $1. But what Xbox was doing is just getting you into Game Pass for $1 instead of, oh, you had to buy Game Pass. You know, they just switched it over. So that's what that was. PS Now is not in the conversation. So it's just PS Plus. Why is PS Now not in the... PS Now is the closest thing that they have to Game Pass. And they're pushed... That's the funny thing that I don't really get. Okay, this is what Sony should do. They should take PS Now and PS Plus and slam it together and call it PS Plus Now. PS Now Plus. PSN Plus. Yeah, PSN Plus. Yeah, there you go. Because it's PlayStation Network and PlayStation Now together plus. PSN Plus. Take away PS Now, put it all together, and then put all the movies and stuff and the backwards compatibility that they're going to do. That's what I think they're going to do. Call PSN Plus, backwards compatibility for PlayStation 1, 2, and 3. 4 is already there. Emulated, of course. And they sell all their old games and stuff and have the movies and music together, all together. One low price of whatever, $15 a month to stay, you know, competitive. And that sounds cool. That sounds like, oh, that's all right. You get the music and the movies and okay, yeah. That sounds more like an answer to Game Pass because it's like I mean, it's more than PlayStation though. It changes what the whole kind of narrative of games and it's like Sony is moving the way that Xbox was doing, like TV, NFL, blah blah blah. If they do the movie thing and the movie and the music thing, which I'm not saying it's a dumb thing. I think it's a smart thing that you should do that. It's more incentive. It feels like that seems like a value. I get these movies and the music streaming and all these games and backwards compatibility for one low price. Yes, please. That's what I'm talking about. But I mean, is that going to hurt them and say, oh, now they're all about movies and TV and music and they're not about games no more because they're closing down all the studios? I mean, there's always a way that people are going to spin stuff. So, you know, is that what's going to happen? I don't know. If they don't do day and date, honestly, on Game Pass is what it's like it's the most important thing that they included to make that something that I was willing to kind of pay for. It was like, I got it, right? I got Game Pass. And I was like, all right, this is pretty cool. And then it went away. And I was like, oh, I kind of miss it. And I was all these games I can play, right? I got it back again. I was like, all right, cool. And then like Gears 5 came out. I was like, oh, let me play that. And I was like, oh, cool. And I played High Busters. And I played some other stuff. And I can't remember. The whatchamacallit? The Medium. And all. Forza Horizon 4 actually was the first game I played on Game Pass. And I was like, yeah, okay. This is good. This is worth, 120, 180 a year. Because the games, like I said, the games I played, I would have had to buy. And I already saved that money. I already played more in games than I would have spent on games. You know what I'm saying? So if you add up all of the games that I played to completion, or even part of, because you can't just buy a game and be like, I didn't finish it, so I get my money back. Nah, son. I mean, sometimes, but not really. Sorry. Then it says, let me help you to understand. I have close to 200 games, all from PlayStation Plus. I don't own a PlayStation now. That's fine. That's great. But what is that? Why does... okay. Bonds, sorry. I got gold. I'm sorry. Again, I worked in marketing. If the monthly subscription model is the monthly subscription model outdated? If the monthly subscription outdated, why do companies keep using that model for business? I got gold to Game Pass for 3 months extra and 15 days code and $10 gift so far this year from Microsoft. Sony can't even try to undercut Microsoft with the sub at $11.99. You gave Grounded so much praise, you forgot about it. No, I haven't forgot about it. I stopped playing it for 2 reasons. One, I'm kind of trapped in the underground pond lab. And, I mean, I didn't try to get out to go to my other base to, save it again. But I'm trapped there. I'm like, oh. And I just watched it a couple of days. They just did another update on Grounded. So they're doing all these updates and they changed... like they added bees and mosquitoes and stuff, and I haven't played it since then. So it's been a while. So I was like, I'm gonna wait a little bit so I can, just like let them put some more stuff in it. So it's kind of like when I go back to it, it'll be like a brand new game again. But I stopped playing it for a little bit because I think I was getting a little burnt out on it, and so I said, okay, let me stop. Let me play some other stuff. Outriders is it's a little dumb fun. Let me play that real quick and and stuff like that. So no, I haven't. It's still good. Still dope. I just stepped away from it for a little bit, and I'm gonna go back, and I want to figure out a game plan because I want to build a base that's like something that I can like. Right now, my base is on the porch, and it's on the edge of it's in basically a construction zone. So possibility for them to change something where my base is definitely real. And it could destroy my base, basically. So I don't plan... That's not my only base, but that's like the main one. So I have to figure out a new location where I want to actually put my... I think I want to put it on the pond, but I haven't decided yet. Anyway, the game is still under construction. It's still not released yet. So I figured I'd slow my roll on it and try to play some other stuff. And actually, I've been doing more music. So I've been not playing as much as I should be, but Legend says PS Now is equal to backwards compatibility. PS Plus is equal to Game Pass. Game Pass is superior to PS Plus. I agree with most of that. I mean, I agree with all of that, but I think you're not giving enough not credence, but credit. PS Now. I mean, remember what PS Now used to be. It used to be literally a rental service. That's what they created it as. And then they said, "Oh, this is kind of dumb." Well, people said, "Oh, this is kind of dumb." It was like $4 or $6 for a week, or so. I don't remember how much it was, but it was like, I heard that. I was like, I don't want to rent it. Nah, B, that's not. Nope, that wasn't a good idea. And so then they changed it to streaming, or did they? When did they change it to be more like Game Pass? I know they I guess they changed it to a subscription service soon after, but it was still all streaming. And then Game Pass came out, and then they changed it to partial download stuff that they could, like PS3 games you can't download because you can't play them natively on PlayStation 4 yet. Couldn't, but I think they're changing that soon. It's all old games. Yeah, I mean that's but part of that is also the whole game preservation type of thing. Like, oh, we want to make sure we can play, which is like, yes, that's something that we should all be cognizant of. Is that these old games, yes, they're old games, but it's important to be able to access them. You know what I'm saying? Like if it, like Crysis, right? Digital Foundry just did a thing on Crysis on the next gen. They just did the PS5 video today. They did Xbox before. If it was like, oh, that's an old game, code is, we're not gonna play that no more. Code is lost. It's an old game. We wouldn't have all this new content and new machines playing old games, just like the old Doom when they play that and they throw ray tracing on it. It is important to keep these old games around for that. Especially like, it's backwards compatible. Especially like old PlayStation games. PlayStation 3 is one of the most important. I would say one of the most important eras in PlayStation, because when they launched, they were in trouble. They were like, what? But get 2 jobs? What? Giant enemy crabs? What? It was just like, huh? Now what are y'all doing? $600? Huh? And they turned it around, right? With some good stuff. All that good stuff. Granted, a lot of that stuff they're remaking, but not all of it, right? So there's games there that's like, yo, PlayStation 3, can we get, and if it was backwards compatible, then boom, you can preserve that point in Sony's history where they were in the doo-doo lane, and then they came back stronger than ever. And they don't care. Right now, I just read the thing, that whole story. I'm like, it seems like they don't really care. I mean, they looking at their bangers. They got a list of bangers, and they're just like, yeah, let's just do that. Everything else is kick rocks. And I'm like, yo, that's as big of a company as Sony is. That's bad. That's bad in that they are, it's really focusing on the bangers. And like I said, a game like Among Us, that's not a banger. But it's a banger in the sense that everybody was playing it. Fall Guys, not a banger, but everybody was playing it. So the whole idea that Sony is like, yo, we're not going to do those little doodle games is flawed from the beginning, because every game that is super successful is not a quote-unquote third-person narrative story-driven banger. That's the problem with Sony. Sony is looking at what worked for them, right? And they're going for it, which is fine. But they're cutting off everything else. And they're not looking at the entire industry and saying, oh, shoot, Minecraft is a banger, but it's not a banger in the sense that they feel it's a banger. But look at the money it's made. Fortnite is a goofy little cartoon game with all these, it's not a banger. It's not a AAA banger, but it's the most popular game on the planet. So, I hope it works out for them. I mean, they're going to put out some games, and I will guarantee you that they'll be good. Will they be the best game ever? Who knows? I mean, that's always up in the air when it comes to games. I don't think they're going to make a horrible bad game. Because they have experienced people making good stuff. But don't expect any little games. Don't expect any indie darlings coming from Sony, because they cut it off. They cut them off at the knees. Then they cut them off at the waist. They cut them off at the nipples. Now it's just a head. Like Homeboy in God of War. That was bad. Yeah, man. I mean, it kind of sucks. How's Fortnite not triple? Fortnite is not a AAA game. Fortnite is the most popular game. It's not a AAA game. When's the last time you played Fortnite, Legend? Fortnite is popular, but it's like, that's like saying Among Us is a AAA game. That's like saying Fall Guys is a AAA game. Mad people are playing these games, but that doesn't make it AAA. Fortnite, when it first came out, it was Save the World, right? That's what it's called. Fortnite Save the World, and it was, that was Cliffy B's. I don't know if that was Cliffy B's game, but he was definitely promoting it and going out there and saying, this is what the game is. You're gonna build a fort, and then the zombies are gonna come, and then you're gonna shoot the zombies, and then you're gonna save the world, and then there's another part where you rebuild some more and then the zombies come and you put traps and stuff, and it was like, okay, that looks all right. And then that came out exclusive for PlayStation 4, and it flopped hard. And then they did Battle Royale, and then it was the best game ever. Legend asks, what makes a AAA game? Well, I mean, I guess it depends on who you ask, but I am basing my assessment of what a AAA game is based off of what Sony deems a AAA game based off of what they make, right? So you look at the Sony stable, if you will. No pun intended. That wasn't a pony joke. I'm just saying that's their stable of games. That was unintentional, but yes. So you've got Last of Us Part 2. AAA game. God of War. AAA game. Ghost of Tsushima. AAA game. Uncharted series. AAAs. Hold up. I'm totally blanking and missing. Gran Turismo. AAA. Ratchet and Clank. I guess Ratchet is a AAA. Ratchet is a AAA game with asterisks, because it's like a old school platformer, but they did so much graphically, visually, and I don't know, system wise. I don't think the systems are that much greater, but the warping and stuff with that's just something new, something a little different. That it's kind of like right on the other side of AAA. I think production value is definitely important. That just says AAA game depends on what goes into making the game and what the game puts out. Yes, it's also the perception of the quality of the game, which is kind of what you're saying. So like all those games I mentioned, production value. You look at the production value. You look at whether it's music, sound design, music score. Then you go to the acting, voice acting, all that stuff. All that stuff is impeccable, perfect. Not like, oh my god, the voice acting in Outriders is horrible. So it's kind of like not a AAA. It's like a double A game. It's like it wants to be AAA, but nah. Like the voice acting is bad, the facial animation is bad. So it's not a AAA game. You know what I mean? But when everything's super polished and everything's running on all cylinders, it's like, yo, this game is game of the year, baby. AAA. And Spider-Man's AAA. You know? So that's what I would even say. Like, that's the thing, right? Hellblade, the first one, was considered a AAA indie game because it was a small group of people who made that game, and it's a shorter game. It was it like 12 hours or something? I mean, it wasn't the shortest game, but it was a smaller in scope game. So the quality as far as AAA was there, but it was a smaller game. So it was like AAA indie. So I was like, okay, they came up with that moniker because of the fact that it wasn't full-blown AAA that kind of met all the criteria of what AAA was kind of, the meaning of AAA within the Sony stable of games. Legend says, if a major studio puts all its resources towards making a game and they come out with an epic 20-hour plus game in the pursuit of making a large profit, Hellblade is not a AAA game. Like I just said, AAA indie. That's what they said. That's not what I'm saying. That's what they had. And this was before it went to Xbox. This was when it was a Sony exclusive. They say AAA indie. And I was like, okay. All right. You know, and I saw it. I was like, yeah, that makes sense. Sure. So I don't have a problem with that moniker, AAA indie, because like I said, it's about the production value, and I think I guess the length of the game does, like, if you get a super dope, crazy, oh my god, this game is so nice, but it's 5 hours, you're like, nah, that's not a full game. That's like what is that, right? That's an indie game or whatever, you know. So as much as I hate to say it, the length of the game does contribute to its perception of AAA-ness, if you want to say it that way. You know what I mean? But like I said, they consider it AAA indie, and I don't have a problem with that moniker when it comes to that particular game. And I think more games can do that. And I don't think games like that will hurt the industry. I think that if it's a narrative game, then it could be shorter, or it doesn't have to be 100 hours long. That's ridiculous for a team to have to put out a game like that. You know, there's going to be filler. There's going to be other things that'll make it a longer game, arbitrarily make it a longer game, and that's a worse experience for us as far as a game, because it's like, oh, we gotta freaking mine and whatchamacallit forever and ever just to because you want to make the game 40 hours instead of 25. I don't think games should be like a 20-hour game. I think is perfect. 15 to 20 hours, perfect. And if you maintain that God of War quality, that's AAA all day. But sometimes you come short. That's like Outriders. But the thing about Outriders is that it's fun to play. Like, the actual gameplay loop is fun to play. But all the other stuff surrounding it, the voice acting, the animation, I'm playing on Xbox One X, graphics is like, missing some ray tracing shots. I know there's no ray tracing, but whoa, it's a flat ass game. But I know it looks better on other stuff. Legend says, along with that definition, Fortnite is a game that a major CEO put forth the effort to make a profit, and they did. It's a 20-hour game that has made more money than most have ever, equals AAA. The money that a game makes does not make it AAA. First, you can't say that. That's not part of this equation. AAA is just what the game is, not what it does in the market, but what it is. Like I said, quality of assets, animation, voice acting, music, all these combined, plus story, presentation, no bugs, all this, like, oh, this game is perfect, I love it, it's so beautiful, blah 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 blah. That's AAA. What the studio puts into it, like I said, the money that the studio puts into it, the money that the studio put out in pursuit to make the money. What the studio puts into it also doesn't matter, because that's just the nature of making things, right? So you can say, oh, they put so much money into it, but it's garbage because for whatever reason the studio just isn't as good as Naughty Dog, or isn't as good as other studio B, you know what I mean? So that money thing doesn't matter. The money they make and the money they put into, you can say most AAA games require a certain amount of money, but the final product dictates AAA, right? Like, you can say Cyberpunk is supposed to be AAA, but it's broken as hell. That's a bad example. Now, you know what? I might have to agree with you in the fact that the correlation between the money put into the game does affect the actual scope and quality. So I'm gonna have to move back on that one. But yeah, you're right. Broken or even not a good game does not mean it's not AAA. I mean, I would say that the money put into it, definitely has a direct correlation impact into the quality of game. Also, how much time it takes them to make the game. Also, but that has to do with the tools that are available now, and skills, and it's a whole bunch of moving parts. But yeah, broken doesn't matter because I just used the Cyberpunk example, and that game is AAA, but it's just a horrible garbage game because it's broken and stuff. So in that respect, I agree with you. The money put in from the studio does affect the quality of the game, which would make it AAA. But if you have a super talented studio, and this is where it's like, yeah and no. You have a super talented studio with not a lot of people, or you have a super talented studio that don't require as much money as another super talented studio that, company puts $100 more million into this game versus this other game over here. But this other game over here is quote unquote better. Comes out better, makes more money, blah, blah, blah. They're both AAA, but this one performed better with less money. So, still AAA. So, yeah, I get your point. Yeah, you're right when it comes to that stuff. But I think that formula, while it still exists and it still makes sense, I think what's happening because of Game Pass, for the most part, Game Pass on the console side at least, is that we're gonna start to see a lot of games that are quote unquote AAA indie, if you will, where it's like The Ascent, right? The Ascent is a game I was looking at, I was like, yeah, I mean, it's twin stick shooter, sure, kind of a isometric 3D type of view. Not into those games that much, but I guess I'll try it. It's gonna be on Game Pass. I'll try it. Cyberpunk. It looks kind of cyberpunky. I was like, okay, I'll give it a wing, give it a whirl, give it a let's go. Is it gonna be a banger? Is it AAA? Is the first question. I would say no because of its perspective, like where the camera is. But it looks freaking gorgeous. I'm looking at it, I'm like, yo, that looks good. And then, taste is subjective, whatever. But, the perception of what AAA is becoming very narrow. And it's either first-person shooter, a racing game, or flying game, or third-person story-driven narrative type of game, or an RPG, open world, something. So there's like a handful of games that fall into like just a genre fall into automatically AAA status, given enough money, to make it beautiful and look all pretty and stuff, quality, production quality. So Legend says, have you ever seen a movie, John Connor from Mars? Yeah, that was bad. That's a blockbuster movie that studio put big cash into it and it bombed. Same thing. Yeah, you're right. So it's a triple, but it's not a big blockbuster movie. They're trying to make it that, but it was a bomb, so it's technically not a blockbuster. It's a piece of garbage movie that they spent a lot of money on. So that's a little different. But no, I agree with you though as far as the the perception is narrow because those are the types of games that make money. I mean, yeah. Well, no. It's like what the whole article was about was taking less risks on games. So they're like, yo, we're gonna make AAA bangers because they sell the most, and that's what we're gonna do. But in doing that, they have to put more money into them and have less products, so that it's kind of both, right? It's like it's less risk averse because it's already a known franchise, and it's like, oh yeah, another Uncharted, another God of War, right? So it's like, yeah, people are gonna buy it. But at the same time, if it's garbage and people are like, yeah, this is garbage, if it does a Cyberpunk, then they're screwed because they put a lot of money in a few things, So it's like, it's kind of both. Legend says it was a blockbuster. They poured a ton of money into it, and it wasn't a bad movie. It just didn't strike a chord with anyone. Well, that's what blockbuster means, is really making the big monies. But I understand this both, right? It's the blockbuster in the way that it makes all this money as a blockbuster, and or the perception of the size of the movie, which I agree with you on that side. Like, not the money side, but on the, oh, we're putting all this money in, the special effects are so dope, this is a super blockbuster we're putting out. Yeah, I agree. And the thing is like, was Steven Spielberg, I think he started the blockbuster. Was it him? I think it was with Jaws. I think Jaws was the first. Well, it was the summer blockbuster thing. So that's where my mind went to when you say blockbuster. But I agree with the whole studio putting money into it. Yes, that is true. That is true. But not all games. Well, yeah. The money put into supposed to be AAA, supposed to be blockbuster, but like we just saying, not necessarily the case. Sometimes they don't make their money back. Sometimes, even like Days Gone, they were profitable on that game, but Sony said, yeah, it didn't make what we wanted to, or it wasn't. It just took too long, and it was, production was sucky or whatever. So they're not making a sequel. And I'm like, that kind of. I think. Here's what I think. I think a Days Gone sequel, if they improve on, whatever was wrong with the first game. I didn't play it. If they make it better than the first game, I mean, I think it would be good. I think more people would actually buy the second game than the first game, because like you look at Uncharted, first Uncharted was good, second Uncharted was better. I think more people bought and played the second Uncharted. That's what I think. Days Gone would have been one of those AAA sure bets. I don't know why they decided not to do a new Days Gone. Instead, they're doing Uncharted remake, and I'm like, that's a whole another thing that is kind of, I don't want to say controversial, but it's like, what are you doing, Sony? Why wouldn't you make a new Days Gone movie? Why are you remaking a game that we already played already? 2013, it was only 8 years ago. Why are we doing this again? There was a remaster and a re-release and a remake. It's been out 2 or 3 times already, and then they're making another one. And this is why I say that they're going more towards a Nintendo type of way of doing things, model, where they take their game and they re-release. But they just can't re-release it as is. They have to make it better for people to be like, oh, I think I need to buy the new version because it's new and better, shinier. Which makes sense, yes. But that's what Nintendo does. They're like, oh, let's release an old game. We got a lot of old games. But they're making new games too. But they make you buy the old games, and people are buying them. So it's a tried and true. It works. And it seems like Sony's following that same thing, but I don't know if they have the same back catalog that Nintendo does. I don't think that's... I mean, that's something to think about, look at, right? Yeah. I'm not sure, man. I'm kind of running over time here, and I have to go get my shot tomorrow, so I got to get up at like 6 something. But I think that's it. I think that is all. Yeah. I mean, okay, so not to recap, but to final words. Sony is going, they're double downing on their bangers. And nothing else really. I mean, I guess they were trying to do some third-party deals, but I think Microsoft is kind of changing the game on that as well. So it's like, I don't know if Sony went and got those deals before Microsoft started all this Game Pass day one type of stuff. It's hard to tell. I guess we will tell. We'll see in a while. See if did you see Sony's exclusive deal? Yeah, was the Uncharted movie, I think, is going to Netflix or something? Yeah. That's cool. But, once again, Sony has a movie studio. Sony should have their own Netflix by now. And that's where I think that... Well, I mean, actually, here's a problem with that deal. Is that if Sony does the PSN Plus, where it's the games and backwards compatible stuff, and plus movies and music... The Netflix deal is taking some content away from, because it's a streaming service. I mean, unless that's in the contract where it's like, oh, we want to put this on Netflix, but we're going to put it on our stuff too when that comes to fruition. It's 2 years from now, whatever, or a year from now. And Netflix is like, all right, who knows what the contract was, but I don't know. All the new Sony movies are going to Netflix. It's a multi-billion-dollar deal. Yeah, that's that's not Jim Ryan. That's the movie side. So whoever's in charge over at the movie side, that guy, that's what that was. But I mean, Legend, do you think that Sony should have their own streaming for movies and music? Let's say movies and music combined. Don't you think they should have their own service? Because I'm like, they literally have a movie and TV making machine. Why don't they? It's like, why don't you? You see, Netflix is making. It's not like it's an unproven market or anything. They making money, so why not YouTube? It doesn't make. I don't know, man. This is crazy. No, absolutely not. Why not? Why not? They should. That should be pretty good. Why not? Why not have a Sony streaming service for movies and music alone? And if they wanted to be, clever, they're making content and they can sell it to the highest bidder. I mean, at the cost of what? If they look at what Disney Plus is doing. They have how many? I gotta look it up. I don't even know how many subs they got on Disney Plus. I think it's over 100 million, right? I don't know. How many subs on Disney? Disney. Plus 100 million subscribers. Yeah, 100 million subscribers. They officially passed 100 million subscribers. So, and what is it, like $7 a month? So $700 million a year, just for people to just pay me $700 million. I mean, that's good. That's a good little Apple Plus. That's a good idea. I don't know. Let's see. Subs on Apple plus 333.6 million. Oh, that's the end of 2019, so there might be more now. I don't know. Let's do 2021. Now, subs. Son of a bastard. Go back. Oh, they had it on there. Nope. There 62 Apple subscriptions. Huh? Oh, they haven't disclosed how many users it has. Yeah, so they had 33.6. Oh, because some of them are like sharing stuff. How many subs on Showtime or stuff? Showtime is a good. What is Showtime's thing called? Showtime. Oh, stop it. What happened here? How many subs? If they're not disclosing about something, yeah, that's true. Showtime Plus. Showtime have HBO. HBO as of December 41 million. That's all right. What about Showtime? I mean, I'm sure they're more now. But how much more, right? 27. So Apple was 33.6, Showtime's 27, HBO's 41, Disney Plus over 100 million, Game Pass probably 20 by now, but last number was 18 a couple months ago. So, yeah, Disney Plus is killing it. And why? Because of the content, because of those shows. Falcon and the Winter Soldier is crazy. That last episode, I was like, what? Oh, snap. And I think I have that actual comic book, that Captain America comic book, where they show him with and it's black. He has a black suit on instead of I think I have that. I don't remember actually. I gotta look. But yeah, that's the sub game is crazy, and they make a lot of money off of that stuff. So you're talking about all the streaming services that are at the top. Why fight for crumbs at the bottom when you can get a piece of the pie from the top? Yeah, but here's my thing, right? Would they make more money from subs versus, selling piecemeal, right? They have Spider-Man. I mean, that's a big moneymaker on PlayStation alone. If they put the Spider-Man movies on the Sony Streamies service, whatever it's called, the SSS, Sony Streaming Service. It sounds a little... Anyway, triple S, S to the third, right? That alone would get people to sub to it. Because oh shoot, the new Spider-Man's coming to Sony streamers. I think I got to get the Sony streamers because, yeah. Or they go to the movies. Either way, Sony's making money. They get the movie ticket money or they get the sub money. It's just a matter of like what, like the Uncharted show. That would be on Sony streamies. All these, they're making a lot of TV shows as of recent. I know Uncharted, The Last of Us. Well, Uncharted is a movie. The Last of Us is a show. There's something else. I can't remember what it was. They did Ratchet and Clank movie, but that was okay. But they have a lot of content, and that plus the actual, 3D, Sony Animation Studios movies that come out that are on in theaters that could all go into sub. It's a lot of stuff, and that you couple that with like just the music stuff that they do. Come on, I would say a lot of people would sub to that. A lot of people. Legend says, how much money would they make if they sold the rights to Spider-Man to HBO versus attempting to get people to give you streaming money and get it in streaming games? Yeah, I know it's not easy, but I mean that's the whole game is to keep people in the ecosystem. It's like, Marvel is killing it, right? They're like, okay, WandaVision is like, oh, that was pretty good. Oh, next week, let's take a week off. Next week, Falcon and Winter Soldier. Bam, okay, that's pretty good. And then the next is, I think Loki's next. And they're showing little stuff about the new trailer. I was like, Loki looks like, he's like, okay, you're keeping me in the ecosystem. They keep coming with the bangers on Disney Plus, and that's what it is. That's what it is. Legend says, think about it. HBO's been in the game forever. Disney's super huge. Netflix is the originator, who's breaking off another 15 for another streaming service. You're not. Yeah. I mean, there's only a limit that people will like. Okay, I got 59 streaming services. I got to give one up. Who's the one on the bottom? And like I said, that's the game. That's the competition aspect of it, right? Instead of Sony giving HBO, Last of Us. That's Sony's. Mad people would sub to Sony streaming service just to watch that show. Period. But now they're going to sub to HBO because that's where the show's going. So they're losing the subs, but they're making whatever money they're making from HBO and Warner Brothers. I mean, it's. I mean, I would agree that it is harder to create this whole streaming infrastructure network, streaming farms. I guess they get a higher. I mean, they're using Azure now. I think they were using Amazon before, but whatever. So they'll have to do it through that. Is that possible? Does it make sense for them to pay Azure? Are they going to make their money back with the streaming because they have to pay the Azure, blah, blah, blah. Would it make sense for them to start their own streaming farm so they could do it that way? Blah, blah, blah. It's a whole bunch of stuff. And I don't know if they're big enough to do that as far as like actually start up their own streaming farm with servers and stuff, because it took Microsoft 10 years. And they're a huge corporation company. Way bigger than Sony. And it took them 10 years. So, it would be very hard so I agree with you. It'd be super hard for them to do that. Legend says they can make money off of Disney and HBO by offering deals. They can get money off the top. Yeah. And Netflix offered up the billies just for the first dibs on. Yeah. That's true. That's true. So I mean, I think the position that Sony's in, as far as they don't have the infrastructure to kind of serve something like that, but I don't think Netflix has their own. I think they're using Amazon too, right? I think they're using Amazon servers, if I'm not mistaken. I could be mistaken, but I mean, it's not impossible, but I think it's really about, it's kind of like the long-term outlook for these companies, right? And what the leaders of these companies, the people in charge, CEOs, whatever, what they look at, right? Like you look at Phil Spencer versus, go back to video games, look at Phil Spencer versus Jim Ryan, right? Jim Ryan's like, yo, how did we destroy Xbox last gen? The answer is Xbox let them destroy. Xbox said, here, destroy us. Here is the gun. Shoot us in the face, please. Thank you. That's how they won. Because they had no competition. Xbox took themselves out of the game before the first day. And that's how Sony destroyed them. Now, I'm not saying that they wouldn't have won anyway, but it would have been a closer race, right? If Xbox didn't just give it to them. So, using what worked last gen, I can see in a way where someone would say, "Yo, this is our formula for success. Let's do that." But the circumstances have changed. Your opponent has been working out. Your opponent is faster, stronger, smarter. So, using the same moves, I mean, they might work, but not in the same way. It's not going to be like, oh, we're going to kill him again. We don't have to worry about it. That's not what's going to happen. And I think they're feeling it right now already. And, I mean, and the funny thing is, last thing before I go, the funny thing is they were trying to buy, was it Crunchyroll or they already had Crunchyroll? They were trying to buy something to form all super anime Voltron streaming thing, right? And who was it that they were investigating the whole deal for Monopoly and stuff? And I was like, that's hilarious. Like, Microsoft just went through this thing with Bethesda, and everybody's talking about Monopoly. Meanwhile, Sony's going to buy like Crunchyroll or whatever they're going to buy, some anime company, to stream, have all the streaming anime all together, and they get dinged for Monopoly. I thought that was pretty funny. And, yeah, that's it. I mean, bottom line is this. PlayStation's going to have some bangers, guaranteed. Microsoft is going to have some bangers, guaranteed. Now, how many bangers? Who knows? We can say this. The potential number of bangers possible for each side is definitely on Xbox's favor because of the fact that they have way more studios to make the bangers. I mean, it's just a numbers thing. It's like, yo, we have more people to make this stuff. We could make more stuff. It's not even like, oh, I'm being a fanboy. But no, it's just you got more studios. You can make more games. Whether they're bangers or not, who knows? But I know all of them aren't going to be AAA bangers because that's not what they're doing. They're doing like some small stuff. Blah, 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 blah. But they got Playground making some bangers. They got 2 bangers from Playground coming. Bethesda's making not Bethesda. Obsidian making Avowed. I'm like, their last game was a banger. So, yeah, they're probably, Avowed's probably going to be a banger. I'm going to say Avowed's going to be a banger. Halo Infinite, that'll be a banger. That's just like, that's the old grandpa. He's still good. Forza 8, is that what they're up to now? We'll see. I mean, I'll play it, but I'm not into the mainstream Forza Motorsports. So we'll see. Let's see. There's a lot of games, but it's like there's so many and so many. Perfect Dark's the other one. That's gonna be a banger. Is it gonna be good? Who knows? But they're trying. Bubble Butternuts, what's up, Butters? How are you? Good to see you. Hopefully everything's going good with you. I'm about to bounce because I've been. This will be a 3-hour show. This was not my intention. Bro, I heard the insane couple of jokes. An insane couple of jokes. Oh, nice. Let me see. Let me put them in chat. I want to read. I like jokes. Give me the jokes. Legend says the conversation around the water cooler with the Sony fans is Microsoft over leveraging itself by overspending on properties. I say maybe. Maybe, but the beauty of like the Microsoft side of things is that they have money to do that. They can lose money because they have so much like money capital as far as the ability to spend on risky propositions and stuff. Sony doesn't really have that. They have to really make sure that they work at making their stuff, which is good. You know, we'll get a better product in the end. We'll get all those bangers. But, you know, a lot of the conversation that I've heard is that, you know, Sony's playing it safe and Microsoft is allowing content creators and these developers to experiment and to do things that they want to do and not have to worry about, oh, you have to sell this many units. No, you're going straight to Game Pass. We're going to give you money. Don't worry about it. Just make a good game. Throw it in Game Pass. You're good. You know, so that's kind of a win-win situation when you look at Game Pass, even though I know you don't like Game Pass, but you look at Game Pass and you look at the devs and Microsoft is saying, yo, just make something cool and creative and good and stuff, whatever. Doesn't have to be a banger, but, you know, it's going into Game Pass. They don't all have to be AAA bangers, but you give us something that's pretty dope and, you know, interesting and people want to play it. It's good. That's what we want. And you could call it filler if you want to, but some of these little games, like I'm playing Narita Boy, and I'm like, okay, this is all right. It's not a banger, but it's like, I kind of like it. It's like, this is a game I would not have bought. Wouldn't be a banger. Would probably be like $20 maybe, $15, $20. You know, a little indie game, all pixelated, but it's got flavor. The music's pretty dope, animation's dope, all the stuff. It's a really cool concept as far as the game goes. So. All right, Bubble says, why is it illegal to do reverse cowgirl in Alabama? And Bubble says, you don't turn your back on your family. Yeah, okay. That's a pretty good one. Don't turn your back on your family. I might have to use that I'm not gonna say that at work. That's pretty good. Why did the pianist go to jail? Okay, why did the pianist go to jail? He put his finger in the wrong minor. Wow. That's cringy. Stop it. That was worse than the first joke. You got any more? That's a bad joke. It would be on the wrong minor, I think, is more accurate when you're talking about piano players. Because he's putting the chords on the keys. But I understand why he said in instead. Legend says, no one knows where the end of that wallet is. They're going to have to make money, not just spend money. That's true. But like I said, the Game Pass model, they are making money. Like I forget last year sometime, what's his name said, oh, it's not profitable yet. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, yeah, I think it's profitable now. Because the numbers were different. They were like at 10 million maybe when he said that. Now they're close to 20 million. So it's got to be. They're getting there. You know. Why do orphan children only play half of a baseball game? They don't play home games. Ouch. Okay, that's a better joke. That's a less cringy joke. Don't play home games. That's a good one. I mean, it's offensive to orphans, but you know. It's not as generally cringy, so I'll keep that one. Yeah, I think I could tell that joke to somebody in public or at work. Why do orphan children only play half a game? They don't play home games. It's kind of insensitive too, but I like it. It's funny. Jokes are funny. Legend says it's not profitable if they spend close to $20 billion on studios in hopes that that subscription money keep coming in. I mean, that's the thing. If they have a certain amount of subs, and then you have a certain amount of money coming in just on the subs, that's not game sales, because game sales and either like regular game sales or like DLC sales increase because like I bought Forza. I didn't buy Forza. I downloaded Forza Horizon 5, played it through Game Pass, and I bought it was 3. I bought the actually I bought two DLCs on I bought one on 3 and one on 4. I bought the Hot Wheels on 3 and I bought the Lego on 4. And it's $20 regular, but you get a discount on Game Pass. So they made $40 off of me outside of wherever I paid. You know what I mean? So, and that's just me. And that's just one kind of title. Me playing like casually. I don't play a whole bunch of super games, right? So imagine a person who plays like Fortnite and they're buying the Battle Pass every 3 months or whatever. And I mean, yes, some of the money goes to Epic, obviously, but some goes to Microsoft too, because if they're buying, well, actually, I don't know if that's true. I think they do get a little bit of that. They get some kind of little percentage out of that. Maybe. I think they do get a little bit. I'm not too sure though. Don't hold me on that one. Then it says right now it's the long game. They have to continue spending money just to make it a delicate balance must be made. Yeah, I agree. And it is, and that's another thing too. You mentioned the long game. I agree with you that the long game. It seems like Microsoft is playing more of a long game than Sony is. And that's fine as long as it still works for Sony, like the short game, like generation to generation. And I would assume that they would adjust this generation if their strategy isn't quite working out like the way that they think it should be working out, then they'll be able to. I believe that they're nimble enough to adjust mid-generation to accommodate for stuff. But like if they're trying to do the sub game, they need to get on that real quick because that's not easy to just jump in and be successful. It takes time to build those numbers. So. Broccoli is like anal sex. If you're forced to have it as a kid, you don't like it as an adult. Okay. Who did you read these jokes from? Was this from you probably heard it from some dirty comedian, right? This kid asked me how to do stars. Oh, this kid asked me how do stars die. I said they usually overdose. Okay. Yeah, that sounds like, was that Ricky Gervais? No, that's not Ricky Gervais. I mean, that sounds like jokes he would. Well, some of them, not the little kid jokes. Stop with the little kid jokes. I don't like those as much. I get the humor in them, but that's only because my mind is rotten. So I'm not like, ew, oh my gosh, that's so disgusting. No, I wouldn't even snap on that. Like, what? But yeah, so I am done. Butter, I appreciate you. Oh my God, there's another one. I don't know. I realized dark humor. Okay, it's cool. Look, I'm not. If Bridget was here, she'd be like, oh my God, I'm leaving. But I appreciate all humor. Some dark humor is hilarious. Some is like, you went a little too far. I mean, some is hilarious. Like, some is fun. Like, oh, it's so ridiculous. And like, ooh, that's, ooh. It's bad. It's like, damn, that's bad. I shouldn't laugh at it, but I'm gonna anyway a little bit. You know what I'm saying? That's when, he's like, okay. But yeah, jokes are jokes. So. It's all good. We're all in it for the laughs. So. I'm in the UK. I'm kind of used to it. Yeah, and that's what I figured. I did feel the flavor kind of seeping through the words a little bit. So, and I know people in the UK do have a stronger sense of humor, I would say, instead of like everybody so, oh, I'm so sensitive. Don't make fun of my son who's blah blah blah. I was like, why not? He's blah blah blah. That shit happens. Like, I think I was at a comedy show one time, stand up. And the dude up there was making fun of disabled or something, or I can't remember what it was. And there was a lady in the audience that had a son or something that was disabled, and she started yelling at the fool, and he was like, I was like, and the crowd was laughing at him, but she was the only one who had a problem. And I was like, okay, look, I mean, you come to a comedy show, man, that's bets are all off. You can't be like being all sensitive. You tell you stay your ass home if you're gonna be all crybaby about that stuff, yo. We have the UK. We in the UK have some effed up humor. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I wish I was. I wish I had more. I appreciate. I do like UK comedy more so than American comedy. Well, some of them I would say. If you are a crybaby, don't come to comedy. Exactly. Legend says Sony's backing insure thing video games. Microsoft backing Bitcoin. Betting. Well, yeah. No, I don't think so. Microsoft they invested a lot of money on a lot of new studios, and like I think the volume of studios that they have now will guarantee them to have an interesting and something to look for slate of original IP or exclusives, I would say. Not so much it doesn't have to be original, but okay, I didn't read it yet, but it's funny. What do you call a gay person on fire? LGBTQ. Yes, that's a. Oh, you can replace gay to, well, gay is better, I think, because if you say trans, then it sounds like you're just hating on trans people. Or if you say queer, I guess queer is a little better, maybe, because that's a little broader, right? Is queer broader than gay? Because gay is specific. Queer is like. Queer is queer. No. I don't know. It just seems that, like I said, being in America, some people are like, don't say trans, whatever. Queer is a bad word. Oh, over there is bad for you guys, but over here is like, whatever. See? So why do they even have that in there? That's not even a acronym. It's not a word. LGBTQ plus, right? I don't know. Look, I don't make this stuff up, but who knows? But why is it bad over there? That's what I mean. That's like the C word, CUNT. It's not that. I mean, you guys use it a lot. I don't have a problem with it, but over here it's like, woo, don't say that. It's funny because I was listening to I forgot who, but they're like, oh, I don't say bitch anymore because that's a bad word and it talks bad about ladies. And I'm like, okay, I mean, it's not that bad of a word. Look, if the word is in Harry Potter, the movies, then I don't think it's a bad. If they put bitch in Harry Potter, then I'm using it. I'm sorry. Harry Potter dictionary dictates I can use the word bitch in context. The right context. Whether it's being a descriptive to a way a person is acting, or a female dog. But don't call a human female that, because then it's degrading. Which I agree with, but I don't think it's that serious. Bubbles says, I have no clue. They almost have half the alphabet in there now. Really? I see, but it's the women. Okay. And woke people that stopped using bitch. Yeah. I still use it. I don't give a damn. Because if you call my male friend a bitch now, I'm saying women are weak because I call them a bitch. Yeah, I get that. But like we have a little chihuahua. She's a female. I call her a bitch all the time. I'm like, look, bitch, get on my pillow. And she is technically a bitch. So technically, I'm not insulting anyone per se, because I'm talking to my female chihuahua, and she is literally a bitch. And I say it right in front of Bridget, and she's like, oh, why you gotta do that? I say, hey, look, English. Don't look at me. I didn't make up the word. I didn't make up the definition. She is a bitch. It's not a bad word. Just let's go. Okay? I'm just saying. So, but I don't think I've ever called a female a bitch. But I've described how people act, like, yo, you being a bitch right now. Or you acting bitchy. No, not being a bitch, but you acting bitchy, which is cranky. You know? And I don't see anything wrong with that, right? Because female dogs are cranky when you're trying to approach them and they protecting their puppies. They're like, right? So that works, right? I don't know. Butter says, but I'm not even going to try to figure out what the F is going on in their heads. Yeah, no. But bro, what the F is going on in America? I usually watch Meet the Press every Sunday morning because I don't like to watch the news during the week because I'm working, right? And I'm like, look, I don't need any extra BS or stress or anything. So I'll catch up on the weekend. We'll see what's up. Bubble says, Black Lives Matter, then a huge amount of black people fighting Asians. Yeah. I've always said that the human race should be more evolved than we are. I know religious people might be like, oh, you get out of here with evolution. I'm like, look, the fact that we're fighting about stupid stuff, the fact that there's a certain amount of us, this is worldwide, that are wired in a way that they don't care about, they have little empathy, but at the same time, I don't think empathy is necessarily required to be a good person, but they don't have empathy and they're super greedy capitalists. They just want to win regardless of the cost. So it does play into that. And I'm looking at these politicians in America specifically because I don't look at world stuff too much. And I'm shaking my head. I'm like, y'all are really, Trump opened the gates and y'all are just freaking wild animals running around. Matt Gaetz over there. I never paid for sex. I don't know if he said that, but that's what the latest. I never paid for sex. I'm like, okay. What does that mean? What? How old was she? Oh, she just turned 18 yesterday. She's legal. I'm like, man. And then the whole Asian thing with the people. It's look. To me, color doesn't. I'm not gonna say I'm colorblind because that's stupid. I'm not colorblind, but color doesn't matter. I know that's what colorblind means, but color doesn't matter. What you do matters. What you say matters. What you do matters. That's one main reason why I look at Jim Ryan and I'm like, okay, he's talking out the side of his mouth over here and he's doing the other thing over there. I'm like, okay, look, people like you, I ain't got no time. I don't have time for you because you talking stuff and I'm going to sit here and listen to you and then you ain't even going to do that. You're going to do the opposite. Why am I listening to you? Stop talking. Just do stuff because when you talk doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Same with these politicians. Blah, blah, blah. McConnell sitting here like, oh, you should stay out of politics, talking to the corporations. Next day, he says, oh, I think I didn't say that right. He said, and then he said something else. I was like, Corporations was about to slam him because I told this to Bridget. I was like, look, the reason why America will not be a socialist, quote unquote socialist like China type of country is because corporations are running the country. It's not in China. The government run the corporations, run the company. Run the country, right? Here, the companies run the government, run the country, because the corporations. Why you think McConnell switched gears real quick when he's talking shite about the companies? Because they were like, excuse me. Oh, I guess you don't want them billions of dollars that we about to write it. We about to send a check to your house, but I guess you don't want it because we should stay out of politics, right? So staying out of politics means we don't pay you that hush money or that make the law so it's better for us money. Is that what that? And then next day he was like, I misspoke. I think right, more flour. So I'm like, I don't care. Right now, I'm too old for this shite. I have a song called I'm Too Old for This. Anyway, I'm too old for this shite. And right now my focus is keeping a house, making more money, getting more subs on my YouTube because it's like 2 people on there. I need more subs. Bubbles, BBN, Bubble. please sub to my YouTube. It's I'll put the link right here. I'll put the link right here. And honestly, you don't ever have to watch. Just sub. Just click the sub and forget about it. Forget about me, you know? But the good thing is that if you miss a show, I stream on YouTube too, so if you miss a show, you could always throw it on and listen to my stupid ass. But yeah, I'm like, it's so frustrating. And I talked to my father about it. And he is super intelligent. The problem is that, you know, he's going to be 80 this year in June. And I'll just say this. My family on both sides has a history of dementia. Let's just say that. So they're not too, I mean, I could talk to Bridget about it, and she's, we're pretty much on the same page, but I'm a little more racism is effed up. I mean, she is too, but I'm looking at it as on the institutional side, and how can we fix it? And we can't fix it. And the reason why, like, black people are so adamant about talking about, yo, you know, I'm black and this is why, and this is my struggle, is because of racism. They have the history of racism in America has birthed these type of people. If it was all rainbows and butterflies and cotton candy for everybody, there wouldn't be irate black Asian people out there talking about, yo, Black Lives Matter, because that wouldn't exist, right? Because everybody's happy, right? But that's not what it was. This country was formed on racism, you know, conquering, murder, lies. So it's like, okay, I mean, how we got here was messed up. You know, you look at the Indian population, the American Indian population, and how we screwed them over, like, you know, years and years ago, and they're still getting kind of screwed over a little bit. I mean, they've gotten a little bit. I'm sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you are as well. But I have to make it a like I'm trying to keep that kind of hustle going, the habit of hustle. So I'll throw it up on Twitter eventually. Well, I did it already, but I'll do it every once in a while. But I appreciate you stopping in, talking shite. And I don't like talking about politics. I like talking about video games because I like to play them. And, you know, the console wars and all that stuff. It's fun to talk about. It's fun to have Legend come in and we talk about it and stuff. And even though he is super Sony side, and that's fine. There's nothing, like I said, they got bangers, so, you know, I can't hate nobody for liking Sony. But Sony, I'm looking at Sony crooked, not the fans, the fanboys who just blindly, you know, catch every drop of whatever that comes off of them. I'm like, okay, yeah, all right, you all right? But, you know, the bangers, you know, speak for themselves. So until they start messing that stuff up, I guess they're gonna be good. Bubbles says I always laugh when American screams and says, why don't you talk American, this American? I'm like, bro, one thing is it is English, not American. And if you want to be real, bro, do you speak Native American? No, well, shut the F up. That is true. Native American is crazy. It's not crazy. It's just I have no idea because it's not based in a Latin language. It's just, you know, I don't know what it's based in, actually. I think it has its own... well, actually, you know what? I'm not... No, that's right. Because the indigenous people down South America, that's... See, I don't even know. Well, whatever. I'll just stop talking. But, yeah, English. It's not American. I mean, it might be American one day. Like, why don't you speak American? But those are stupid people. But English is, you know, American English is what they should have said. But that's a whole thing. I actually like British English. I think I prefer. I think it feels. I think I have a tie to that because historically speaking, my lineage is from England, in a way. I think we all are well, not all of us, but I do have African, obviously, but I have some Scottish, I believe, Scottish and Irish, I believe. I think more Scottish than Irish, but Bubble says, "What's your thoughts on tearing down all these status of people who did slavery and stuff?" Statues. You mean statues? People just. I think that as far as it being in a public space where we pay taxes, that's like having a statue of Hitler anywhere. Like in Germany somewhere, they wouldn't allow it. So if you have like a super racist person from America and you have a statue of them, and people are like, yo, I pay my taxes, pull that stuff down, and then other people are like, yo, I pay my taxes, keep it up. I mean, there's a debate. I would say if you lose a war, you shouldn't have a statue. If you lose a war, meaning the Civil War, that's what I'm talking about. If you lose a war, you should not have a statue commemorating you because you're a loser. Now, I'm not saying that because you're a loser. I'm just saying that because what it represents is something that's not good as far as America goes. Though America is like, crazy, you know that. My thought on it is it needs to be there as a reminder to never do that shit again. I agree with the reminder stuff. I don't agree that it should be there. I don't think they should be destroyed. That's the thing. I think they should be taken. There should be a museum, or maybe just one specific place, one park in America that says this is the racist Civil War statue where all the racist generals wanted to blah 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 whatever. I mean, I don't think all of them were racist, but they were fighting for and a lot of it. If you look at the Civil War, the people on the Confederate side were Democrats, I believe, and the Republicans were the what did I say? Confederates. But anyway, my brain's not working. But it was mainly about, things have twisted so much since then that the Republicans are like a mix between what the Confederates were versus why can't I remember the damn name of the Union side? It's just my brain. But like they were, the Confederates were about, the reason why they wanted to keep slavery the way it was is for business. Basically, they needed the work to work the farms and stuff. And they said, well, if you abolish slavery, then it's going to cost us way more money to do these farms, and then everything, all the monies, all the prices, the farms, the crops are going to go up, and we got to pay all these people, blah blah blah. And that's what it kind of was about, kind of, sort of, if you want to look at that aspect of it. Not about slavery's bad. How about not having slavery? But some people were just about the money. And then when it comes down to it, that's what a lot of this stuff is, about the money. And now the Republicans are about the money, small government, but pro-capitalism, which I don't have a problem with that. But there's just bad people who are in that mix, and they do bad things outside of the traditional Republican way of thinking. Like Republicans, small government, small limited government, more freedoms for people, capitalism. Let's make all this money. And I'm like, that sounds good. Yeah, okay. And then the Democrats on the other side are like, yo, let's help the people who need help. Let's spend all this money, quote unquote big government. Let's spend all this money on stuff we need to do, blah blah blah. So I'm a moderate. I'm like in the middle. I'm like, yo, we need to fix the roads and stuff. Of course, let's fix the bridges so that they don't break down and fall on people and kill them and stuff. Let's do that. How about that? You're driving across a bridge, it falls into the ocean, you die. Let's not have that happen. Okay, let's fix the bridges. As far as welfare, some people are like, yo, why don't these lazy people get to go to work, yo? Go to work, you lazy bum. Some people can't. Some people can and are lazy. So I see both. I'm like, okay, you got a point. Some people are lazy. They don't want to go to work, so they use the system. Some people can't go to work and they need the system to survive. Is there another alternative to help these people without giving them handouts? You know what I mean? Maybe you can create a job where they can do a job and get paid and survive, and it's not like, whether it's degrading or something. There are organizations that help people who are like mentally disabled or physically disabled, where they assemble certain things that they can do and they get paid. There's stuff that actually exists, but a lot of people don't. They're in their own world and like, I only care about my taxes. What am I gonna pay? Da, 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 da. My dad's kind of the same way. It's like, yo, man, and he was liking Trump for a minute because like, yo, the country's doing so good. We've never made so much money. I'm like, you know why that is? I didn't tell this to him, but I was like, yo, because he did taxes, corporate taxes, and so he cut it from 35 to what was it? He cut it to 18% or something, or 21%. And now Biden wants to pump it back up to like 25% or something like that. 25, 28%. So he wants to increase the taxes, but it's still lower than what it was before Trump got there. So I'm like, just pay a little bit more taxes, yo. We already screwed up from this pandemic. It's just, I'm like, yo, look, the way rich people stay rich is because, that's how they do, right? And I understand that, but this is where empathy comes in. This is where I'm like, yo, I wish a lot more people who had a lot of money were more empathetic, and they would say, you know what, I don't need an extra $1 billion. I already have $200 billion. $1 billion ain't gonna do nothing. Give it away. Just, okay, take it. Give it to the people who need it. Fix the roads and the bridges. Fix the thing. Give us more, help out make some more, technological advances so the America could be better or whatever. It's just so many things. And that's not even the corporate side where you got the big oil talking about this and that, and it's big medicine. And I hate saying big in front of stuff, but it's just a quicker way to explain that stuff. Butter says, I just wish people would remind themselves that white people stood up to fight against that and died to stop slavery. That's true. That is true. And that's another thing that's, let me finish. Yeah, bro, but there's also, if you work, you end up in debt, where in a lot of cases, if you're on benefits, you're not in debt. Oh, true. I mean, that's yeah. There's a lot of. I think there's a lot of kind of different things. Whether it's education when you're a kid, like when I went to school, they never taught me, hey, this is how you set up a bank account. This is how you save money. They didn't teach you that. Not in high school. So I'm like, first of all, you should teach that for kids. In high school, be like, okay, look, this is how you're going to be successful. But they don't do that. I mean, at least not in my school. Maybe they do that in some other privileged school where they say, okay, this is how you set up your IRA and your da-da-da, and this is how you do it. So when you get to college, blah, 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 you get a little job, put a little money away, blah, blah, blah. And then the kid's like, oh, wow, that's cool. So I don't have to, oh, yeah, I'll do that. And it's just one little thing, and I say schools should teach that because sometimes parents don't think about that stuff. They're trying to make it happen. They're trying to work and make the money and feed the kids and keep the house. You know what I'm saying? So they're not concerned with, oh, I need to teach my kids financial, fiscal responsibility so that they're good. It didn't happen with me and my brother. So how'd I learn? I moved out and I got a job so I could rent a place. And then the bill started coming in. I was like, oh, I need to pay these. This is how the life is. This is how grown up is. Bubba said, my last job I ended up in $3,000 worth of debt in my first 2 months. What you talk about hits a mark on this video. So true, but it's insane if you think about it. Let's see. Oh, I don't have sound, so I can't listen to it. I'll watch it later. It's right here. I got it here. Just to show you. I got it here. I'll watch that later though. Pause. Look at that smile. How you doing there, sir? Robert Kiyosaki. I said it wrong. It's Kiyosaki. Kiyosaki. I don't know, but I have that. Okay. But I appreciate you coming through, Butters, changing up the topics instead of talking about video games all the time. We can talk about other stuff too. Although I would say that I'm not the best as far as business, quote unquote, business goes, but me and Bridget, we got a lot of debt, not because of school, obviously, but we have a lot of debt. So right now we're like figuring out, all right, we need to, strategically chop it down, make it right, and a lot of the systems, as far as America goes, are centered around debt. I mean, your credit score is centered around how you handle debt, not so much, oh, I don't owe any money and have no credit cards. It's like, oh, you have no credit score because you need credit. It's like, what? Wait, I don't have any debt, so give me money. So, but I don't know if you could pay it back. That's the whole point. Bubble says maybe sell some of your models and stuff on Etsy, Fiverr, and Blender Market. Get some extra cash flow. You know what? You're right. I never thought about that. I think I might have to do that. Which is I don't know about Etsy and Fiverr. Fiverr. I was watching this one producer. I totally forgot his name. He's a British guy. And Fiverr sponsored the video, so he was doing a Fiverr video basically. So he's like, I made this beat. And he did the beat right there. And he's like, yeah, now I'm gonna go and I'm gonna hire these 3 MCs and they Fiverr sponsored it, so they pay for it. But he had the 3 MCs to spit on his track, and then they did it, and he did a video on it. And I was like, oh, that's pretty dope. But I don't do videos like that, so it's like Fiverr's not gonna help. Fiverr's not gonna sponsor me to do that. But as far as 3D models, on Etsy you can even put 3D models on there for 3D printing folks. Ooh. You know what? That might be the move. But okay, here's my question. Cuz I have a model of the Razor Crest that I was working on. I never finished it, but I started I just have to kind of do detailing on the panels on the side and stuff in the engine. But can I sell a 3D model of the Razor Crest on Etsy for 3D printing without getting in trouble? You know what I mean? I guess if it's just like only for your personal use, you can't reproduce these and sell them or something. But then again, I'm making money off the model, so I guess I wouldn't do that. But that was my question. Not sure I see a bunch of Pokemon stuff. See, so that's the thing. It's like a gray area, because I would say legally they have, I would say like Pokemon Company or Star Wars or whatever, they have the right to go after me if I do something like that, because it's their property. So I can't just like, oh, I'm gonna do that and then sell it and make money and they don't get any money. So I would say it is definitely within their legal right to protect their IP. I probably would get in trouble because it'd be such a small thing, but I wouldn't do that anyway. I would do original stuff, definitely. But you can make some interesting stuff and still make some cash. I'm definitely gonna check that out, because I'm thinking about all the little things. Like, I can do music for days, right? So what I was gonna do is do like a little Patreon thing and be like, all right, Patreon. Yo, you saw that? Whoa, almost lost power. So Patreon, I could do a beat a month. You get a beat a month, just $1. Just straight up $1. There's no other tiers. There's a, if you want to give us more money tier, sure. But honestly, just $1, a track a month, boom, download it, it's yours, boom. But, once again, you can't use it for commercial stuff, but just private. I don't know if I want to do that too. Maybe I can do it, and maybe that's more enticing. Like, okay, you can use it for your projects and stuff commercially, but you got to give me credit. That license, the GPU, I was gonna say, the GUI or whatever it is. Music wise, Fiverr will be good for you. Yeah, I don't know how, but I don't know if that's. Yeah, I have to look into it. I'll definitely look into Fiverr, see what people are charging for tracks. But the problem is that like say if I put a track up on Fiverr, they pay, I don't know, $1,000 or something, right? I'm like, oh, that's good money. But then they go back and they give it to, I don't know, Cowboy Naz, or they give it to Busta Rhymes or somebody who, you know, they give it to freaking what's his name, Kraft, your boy, forgot his first name. Wow. And then they make $1 billion zillion off it. And then I'm sitting here like, well, I got 1,000. That's my track though, you know, and I'm not getting royalties off it. That's the whole thing, right? But I'm not thinking about it in that respect. So in a way, like I would say, I have to kind of change my thinking. Right. Yeah, that's that. But it says, yeah, but that's being a creator rather than singer artist. Right. Look at what happened to Melody, the VR streamer. What happened to Melody, the VR streamer? I'm not sure what happened to her. And I actually am not familiar with her that much. I think I know who you're talking about, but I'm not sure. But that's the thing. I can write rhymes too, but at the same time, if you write a rhyme and you say boom, like the dude when he did that Fiverr video, you know, he shouted them out and he put links out to them and he showed, you know, so they get a little bit of exposure at the same time, so it's kind of cool, and they get paid, I would assume, from Fiverr to actually spit the verse. So yeah. Oh, that's Bridget. 1 second. Hey Bridget, I'm still streaming.
Oh, okay.
And you're on the live.
Hey everybody. All right. Thanks.
Okay, I'll be in a little bit. I'm gonna end. Okay.
Okay, like 5 minutes, or else you might have cleanup duty.
Oh, damn! She just hung up. I'll tell you. You said hi. That was funny. All right, so. Look what happened. The guy that made her model tried to sue her and asked for $40,000 a month, but she paid that guy to make the model, and she commissioned him and she paid him, but he tried to screw her. Yeah, no, that's bad, and that's why I'm like, I'd rather do a Patreon type of thing where it's like I can either say. I can do special tracks where it's like, okay, this track is free use. You can use it for your videos or YouTube or whatever. I was thinking about doing that anyway. So like, you sub to me, you get a free track a month, and you can use it on your YouTube videos instead of using YouTube's selection of free stuff. It's like, oh, okay. Bond says, I'm back. That's Bridget. Yeah, that's Bridget. She hasn't been feeling good today. I had a headache before, but I took some drugs on. But yeah, she's been like, there's been crazy storms coming through, like fronts, and whenever a front comes through, like the barometric pressure change kind of triggers her, and so she migraines out. And tomorrow we're going to get our shots, so I know we're not gonna feel good. Actually, it's gonna be the next day. Oh shoot! So Tuesday we're gonna feel like crap. So, but I told her tomorrow we're gonna watch 2 Marvel movies. We're at Avengers, and we're gonna watch Avengers and Iron Man 3 are the next 2. So we're gonna watch those 2 tomorrow and just chillax. And I have to go in soon to let the dogs out. Who let the dogs out? I did. Now to says Bubble says, a good thing for you to try is maybe make a couple of albums or something for Twitch streamers, and they pay you X amount a month or pay outright to use them. Yeah, I mean that's the whole. I mean, how would I? That's the thing. I have to look into pay you X amount a month, and then I would probably have to set up something. Wait, there is something that has that, right? I think Bandcamp has something like that, where it's a subscription. I think they have a new subscription thing. Look at the recap of WrestleMania. Okay, cool. Bonds. But I think Bandcamp. I have a Bandcamp page. I just didn't put anything up yet. So that's another thing I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have stuff on Bandcamp, and charge whatever the dollar it is per track and stuff. And I mean, they say $7 for an album, but I'm gonna do some EPs first. So I'll probably just charge like $5 or something. I'm not, like I said, I'm not trying to get. Right now, I'm not trying to get paid. I'm trying to get a following first. because I think having an attractive price and like, ooh, that's a deal, or that's cool, I'll pay that for that, is more important than me like I need to get all the money now. That doesn't concern me because I haven't been getting the money as of yet. So that's not, I'm trying to get the following so that I can have so many people that having $1 times all the followers that I may have, whether it's Patreon or whatever, it's just a lot, so it's not a big deal for no idea, but you want to make money, it's the only way you can get it done. Yeah, that's true. Then hit them with the yearly bundle for $14.99 for 30 tracks. Yeah, I have to look into. I'm sure there are different services that kind of do that stuff. Bubbles says if you start selling one by one, hey, use this guy's music sub to him or pay him outright, continues to the next customer and so on, or 99 cents a month a la carte, buy or not buy. Yeah, and that's, yes, exactly. So I have 2 songs done. I have one song that I did last week in like 3 hours because I was motivated. That's the word. I was motivated because this one person was talking shite on Twitter. I was like, oh, okay. And then they blocked me. So I was like, dang, I don't have the freaking tweets. I had the one tweet that started it all off, but I don't have our exchange. So I was like, but that's fine. I still wrote the song about him, but, I will not I will not say what the person's handle is or anything. Although if you're smart enough, you could probably figure it out because it's kind of in the song, maybe, sort of. But I didn't outright say, this flower said blah, 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 da, blah, da. So it's in there, but it's not in there. But anyway, that's that song. That's a quickie. So I have a couple of different type of songs. So I have the real big songs where it's a full, 3-4 minute song, but it's a super high production. It's taking me months and months to do this one because every shot is basically a CG shot. And then this song where it's going to be like a quick one take, basically. Although I'm thinking in my mind and I'm making it more difficult. So I think I'm just going to do the one take. And it's a quickie. Like I said, it took me 3 hours to do it from start to finish. Beat and writing and rhymed. It all 3 hours from start to finish. And I'm going to shoot it quick, throw it up on Bandcamp. I need to get all my ducks in a row as far as that stuff goes. Put it up on Twitter. I mean, not Twitter. Facebook, the video, and all that stuff. So, yeah, I'm trying to get all the things so that when I do put stuff up, they can get it, buy it. I need to set up a Patreon. There's a lot of stuff I need to do. So, but I'm definitely looking into. Could you also not sell music on Audible? I don't know about that. I think Audible, possibly, but I think that's more for books. I'm not sure exactly. But also the a yearly for 99 or 99 cents a monthly. 99 cents monthly. But what would they get though? They would just have access for all the songs, I guess. I mean, that would be the same as what the Patreon thing was. You get 99. Could I set it up that way so it's 99 cents, and then as I add to the library of the Patreon songs, you have access to the whole library, but that's only if you keep paying 99 cents, but every month is a new song, so it's like you're paying for the new song, but you still get the back catalog, if that makes sense. I don't know, that's where I have to kind of figure out. But I was definitely saying 99, like $1 on the Patreon, so that was my idea anyway, because that's how much you pay for a song. But I have the songs I'm talking about that I was going to release are actual songs with lyrics and stuff, right? And so I have that, and then I have my instrumentals. I have hundreds of instrumental songs. I have hours of music already. So I'm like, okay, if I do that, then everything I put out, I want to do kind of a music video for. So I might do a music visualization in Blender or something simple that I can do for each of these tracks, but and then put it out on YouTube for people to, and then put the link there, go buy it here, pay it, or be a patron, get the track for free there. But there's a lot of stuff. So I have to kind of, organize all of the ways to get the stuff and just make sure everything's in a row. And it's just work. And when I sit down here, I'm like, and I just start making music instead of like doing the back end stuff that I need to do. So that's on me. Bubbles says, bro, also smash that end stream thing before you're forced to do cleaning. UWU. Smash that end stream thing. What do you mean smash that end stream thing? Before oh, yeah, I need to end. True that. I was like, what are you talking? Oh, yeah, you're right. But yeah, I appreciate you guys hanging out, Buns and Butters. You guys are cool. You guys are so cool, man. I guess we'll go back with the 11th dimension there. There it is. But I appreciate you guys hanging out. I'll check you guys again. I try to pop in during the week, but not really. Been trying to make some stuff, but I appreciate you guys again. I'm not going to read the chat, the names, because I'm tired and I got to go clean up the doo-doo. But I appreciate y'all. Tilt the weight.